Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to TraderTV.live. North American stock futures, little change once again this morning, coming off a bit of a negative showing to start the week yesterday. We did have some resurging COVID-19 fears lingering in the background, spurring some more selling as focus shifts away from earnings reporting season and back towards the economic recovery throughout the globe. Spiking cases, though, hurting that ever so slightly. Meanwhile, in Washington, they could pass that $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal as soon as today in the Senate, would then shift over to the House probably in September, but positive momentum on that front continues. Early movers today, including AMC, Entertainment Incorporated. Big move aftermarket yesterday after an earnings beat for AMC. We'll talk all about that. Tesla shares back on watch this morning as well. They reported July Chinese delivery and manufacturing sales numbers. So to the downside a little bit for Tesla today. And a big move for Fisker shares. FSR up pre-market. Morgan Stanley putting a $40 price target on Fisker. It's Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. As I said, little change for all three U.S. Indexes at this point. The NASDAQ trying to lead here, up 0.15. Everything else uneventful so far. Yeah, more positivity for cryptos at the bottom end of the board there. You can see Ethereum, nice 3% move to start things off. Bitcoin tested 46,000 once again, trying to hold in positive territory on the day as well for Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on cryptos. Guys, good morning. It is a Tuesday morning. Going to be an interesting one. We have a number of names moving around once again in the pre-market this morning, including Fisker, guys. Interesting move aftermarket yesterday after Morgan Stanley came out with a $40 price target.
Yeah, Fisker on the move, Kansas City Southern on the move. What's that stock? Begins with an A that's moving a little bit today that had earnings. Oh, that's right, AMC as well on the move. There's going to be a lot to get to. There's a lot of earnings, of course. One headed in the other direction. Looking at USmile Direct and the 100,000 bid at 551. But there's going to be a lot to look at today. It should be very, very exciting in terms of what's moving in the markets. Got to stick to what's moving. That's just the harsh reality. Yesterday, the markets were asleep. If you listen to Arun, he said, not much happening. He was sitting it out. So as a futures trader, because you really have to stick to the individual names here. So I got everything loaded in my watch board. KXN is another one that we should be watching today as well, and should be pretty exciting, Sean. And a bit of a surprise coming up later.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of surprises. I tweeted out a surprise last night. Hopefully you guys saw that. Look, last night when that Fisker news came in, I rushed into the account and bought some shares. So I'm now long Fisker, 1690 on Fisker. So this has been a name. Thank you for joining the party, Morgan Stanley. This is the only stock. And thanks for watching the show once again here on a Tuesday. I was about to say Wednesday there. And Fisker was the only stock that I was saying in this EV space that if there's one that I liked Fisker. So I jumped back in there yesterday. We broke through the 50-period moving average. I mean, $40, I don't know where Morgan Stanley is coming up with that price target, but they're claiming that they're going to be on time. The Ocean should be released. So we really like it. Obviously, it's a great buy down here, but we're back in the name right now. Fisker, we're short Smile Direct as well, and we're long AMC and looking to take Fisker in if and when we break this 1770. So we're ready to get locked and loaded here. Neil mentioned AMC. We're already long 37.30. Missed that 37 break. Was getting all set up here and tweeting stuff out. But there it is now. So nicely in the money. It did go up to $38 for us. So we did have this thing go 70 cents in the money. But we'll wait to see where it goes now. Long AMC all day, hopefully today.
Yeah, positive comments from Morgan Stanley on Fisker, talking about Fisker being the only EV startup with the ability to deliver both on time and also ramp up production very, very quickly. So yeah, pretty positive for FSR. Before we go any further, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. It's going to be an exciting day. I wish you a profitable day. Enjoy your trading. And please don't forget to like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's get it started, guys. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of vaccine talk to kick things off. It has come back in here. I was just having a look at Moderna, but In the pre-market, we flirted with 500 up there, so 500 just above that level where we got to 498 and change, 498.60. At that point in the pre-market, the market cap of Moderna actually surpassed Merck & Co. Got up to about 200 billion. So this impressive run up on the daily chart, I mean, that's pretty much a parabolic daily chart for you for mRNA, guys. Pretty impressive move continuing.
Yeah, I mean, with the data that just recently is coming out showing that, Moderna a little more effective than Pfizer potentially when it comes to the new variants. Look, the run yesterday was it was bonkers, right? Like, let's be honest about it. To see a stock do what it did, breaking out at 410, I tried a couple of times, thankfully with tight stops to the short side, and thinking that we'd get a test at that 500, ignore that wick. I mean, the real test came pre-market here, getting to that 500 mark. Is it coming off a little bit now? Now it's basically flat in the session. I don't know. It's hard to be surprised that when you get a stock that goes essentially $350 to almost $500 in 3 or 4 sessions is going to pull back at 500. I guess it's not a surprise. I kind of wish I was sitting at my desk. I was here, but not looking at Moderna at 8 o'clock. That's for darn sure. But 500 was the level that we liked for a potential play. Maybe we get another shot at it today. It is down about $20 from here. But it's going to remain in play. I look back to like 460 for potential support. It hasn't really had monster drop-offs, but the ones that it has had were either sharp pre-market. I'm sort of going back in here to the fifth, guys. And then when we had that ramp up into 440, it wasn't quite 450, which I thought it would be that day. We're trading it on this session. And this was right at the open where it spiked up. So it is going to set up for me for that 930 potential rollover play. But that price and that stop, it's like, if it's not 500, then to me, you're not necessarily wrong if you're shorting into any strength. I'm just looking at the 15-minute chart here, just so you can see the big 2 ramp-ups that it's had. Big time cluster at that 350. This 500 level, could you consolidate up here? Maybe, but I think it's going to make a move.
Yeah, Pfizer still, I mean, just to say the same vaccine talk here, Pfizer, yeah, wow, $46, busting out all the time, these names. We're into Fisker now as well on a long there, so that should be a good play for us. We'll see where that's going. Let's just check out the imbalance locator quickly to see if there's anything on here that we didn't expect, but AMC, Pfizer right now, Fisker. So, I mean, I'm in 2 of these names, and then Smile Direct not on here, but we'll wait to see. That's a NASDAQ name, so it's not going to be on there anyways. But that's what's popping off right now on the imbalance locator, not a whole hell of a lot. Every name that I'm trading, we have on our watch list, so make sure you find us, watchlist.tradertv.live. No technical issues today. It's up. It's ready to rock and roll. So let's start this party off. AMC coming back in just a little bit here. I do want to get more longer at 37 here and then protect this all through here, man. We'll wait to see what it does at 35. Those of you, I'd hit the animations. We don't have them again today, but if you joined us at the 4 o'clock show, well, 3 o'clock show, I guess, well, at 4 o'clock, when earnings came out, we were long in here, AMC, and we managed to get out 34.60 or 70 right here, as we have to get out before 4:15. So thank God that ripped up there. We got a nice little win yesterday on AMC. So if we won long yesterday, we'll see if we can win it again here today, as we just stopped at 38. That's a little bit of a problem, but we'll see where AMC goes.
On that, guys, we should discuss a little bit about that report. It was a narrower loss overall, so better than expected results. Wanted to highlight this little note in here as well, because they released this, or the CEO actually said this during the release on Monday, that they've struck a deal with AT&T's Time Warner to allow 45-day theatrical windows for movies before the streaming release starting in 2022. So definitely positive overall as far as the report is concerned. Given what has happened to this stock with the whole Reddit angle, how much attention do we pay to the actual report today?
Look, the report's a catalyst. It matters. I mean, people are going to be talking about the fact they're accepting Bitcoin. I would like to think that striking a deal for in-theater release is bigger. Adding screens is going to be bigger, because that's going to be a better revenue driver for them. And ultimately, look, whether you talk about the retail holding or not, or being welcomed on the call, of course, what's going to matter here is you get those catalysts. And anytime you have still some shorts involved in the game, and this is still going to be more of a supply and demand thing when it comes to the shares available, yeah, the numbers are going to make a difference. Look, I was looking for 37 break. I wasn't sitting at my desk, and hopefully we get these animations back for sure. Rob was working pretty hard at that this morning, so thanks for him. I'm bidding in front, like I'm pretty sure Sean said it too. I mean, this was a 37 high break that I was looking at. Never got it, obviously. I'm sitting back in front of it. There was a consolidation here before this little, I guess, like 4 or 5 day move to that bottom, or the recent bottom at 28.50 happened. And I look at that, and I think we can turn that into potential support. There is that chance, and we've seen this on Positive News for AMC, where it sort of sells off and shakes some people out in the morning. So I'd probably cover a 37 long and then look to see if you couldn't get back in. If it does try to wipe out bottom through 36, I think there's obviously going to be a level at that 35. We talked about 35 yesterday as resistance, and then resistance turning into support. I feel like my program monitor is like a little bit further off here, so I kind of feel like I'm always turning my head like this to see what's going on, what screen we're on, but I'll get used to it. Some small changes happening so far this morning, but AMC, I'm on the bid here in front of 37 to catch this bit of a dip buy. There is resistance usually up at $40, so if we get there, fantastic, but I'll wait till there to think about resistance.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know if things have gotten better or worse for AMC, but I do like the fact that I'm seeing Jim Chanos saying they've gotten worse. We'll see. I like all those initiatives. That's an interesting one there with AT&T Time Warner. So we'll wait to see if that has any effects. Look, this is just going to be, obviously we're in now. It's not a heavy position, or else I would have got out. Let's just see where this thing flows to today. I think there's going to be obviously lots of volume. I mean, we're only at 3 million. It's only 840. So we always start talking about these things a little bit prematurely as the day has just begun, and we don't really know where the market orders are going to come into. Are people going to be selling this? What not? So I'm not super worried here about AMC. I mean, it's a nice move up, 10%. Obviously, shareholders will take that. But if you look at a 20 period chart, we've already been here before, and it wasn't even that long ago, right? Just a couple weeks ago, or almost a week ago, up to $40 again, up to 41. So the fact that we're at 37 now, there is a lot of runway still to go to the upside, at least another 10%, I think, up to 40. So we could see that come into play. And then, hey, look, earnings are out, so they can analyze it. And if it wants to drop, it will drop. And there's nothing we can do about it. So I'm going to watch out for this 36 level as a possible support. So that's going to be something that I'm going to look at, but I do want to be long into this. Obviously, we do have a lot of traders that are interested in AMC, and I think everyone's interested for the long, right? Everybody wants that squeeze to eventually happen. So let's see if that does happen here on AMC. And right now, Fisker did do a little bit of a dip. That's going to be one of our next stories, but I'm also long Fisker. So Fisker, AMC, and Smile Direct already in 3 positions here.
This space a little bit further, guys, because we did see some activity aftermarket yesterday in GameStop as well. Obviously, completely unrelated, no attachment as far as the earnings report for AMC is concerned, but you can see this was also pretty active aftermarket when that report came out. Decent move yesterday anyway for GameStop, guys. We got back to almost 165 here, trying to test some levels we haven't seen in a month or so for GME as well.
Yeah, you end up talking about these two at the same time because these are, I guess, the original meme daddies, I suppose. And look, GameStop has been somewhat consolidating off of like a 150 level, so you're getting a bit of a breakout here. Now, the bigger move, obviously, in yesterday's action, this is going to be like right off of the open that it put in the move. But there was a secondary push, sort of going into the later afternoon here. Maybe not for the close show when we were trading it necessarily, but there was certainly an opportunity to trade off those 165 highs. You're not going to have any obvious levels here. Again, the catalyst is going to be AMC. This is not about GameStop today in terms of news, but it is certainly about this range here that we're in, this 165. You should always point at the chart at the point of time that it matters. This 165 area into this 175. And I think if this hangs out here at a higher low, maybe this is going to be a new move for a GameStop, maybe back towards some of those highs. But it's 150 was the breakout, and again, sometimes you look at these double bottoms, and I'm kind of looking back at this and saying to myself, why wasn't I watching GameStop? It had made an obvious high here, 158. Then pulled in, double bottom here on Friday, and then you're essentially holding that level right off at the open for a potential breakout, which gives you clean, clear sort of risk levels. And Brent was in there talking about Moderna. I'm with you, Moderna. Like, I don't have clear risk levels unless it bumps to the upside. Well, this gave you probably clear risk levels to that downside if you took it yesterday. I think a similar thing could happen if we were to get back to 158. I don't know if we're getting to 158 today, but that seems like that would be the support level for me. And then it's 175 to the top. So, having missed out on GameStop yesterday, I'd rather sit in the periphery. 158 looks like the level for support. And then you're waiting for that 175 to get tested where, I guess, it is what it is. If 175 comes in, I'm probably going to be shorting GameStop today. It's just because it stands out on the 15-minute chart here.
Yeah, look, I'm actually pretty tired of like GameStop versus AMC and all this kind of stuff, right? Right now they're trading as individual stocks, but the momentum is there for these meme plays. So like Neil just went over a bunch of levels, so there's really no need to do that. Here goes Fisker right now. We are trying to get a piece out at 97, so we're gonna start off. Oh, I want to hit something. I want to hit an explosion here because this is a nice little win here for Fisker. We bought it in our own accounts yesterday after market. Brent and I were sitting here when that upgrade came through, and I was like, oh, Fisker, I'm taking it. So we did get long there, and so thank God now it's making moves to the upside. I'm sitting here at 97. I'm not sure why. Maybe we got to put this a little bit lower, but let's just get that tick now. One more tick away, guys, for a 25-cent win to start the morning off right, and bang, there it is. So here we go. We'll start the day off with this little sign right there. Bang, with a nice little 25-cent win on Fisker. And going more. Did I say 25? How about 30? How about 35? How about 45? As we continue to go higher right now on Fisker. AMC, yes. Where's my reloaded button? Because we're reloaded on AMC right down here at 37. So a nice little dip by there at 37 even. Now at 37.40. So here we go, guys. It's 8:46. And I'm already pretty excited. This should be, Brendan, a great day.
It's 40, right, Sean? It's 40. It's going to go to 40, right? Because that's what Morgan Stanley said. Let's bring in let's bring in Arun and get a look at the overall market here and see what we need to be aware of. So far, Arun, pretty quiet morning. Once again, we're still kind of stuck in this range overall. What's it going to take here to get us either to new highs or maybe a break lower?
I don't know what it's going to take, but it's August, so I'm not expecting a whole lot in terms of catalyst. If it's a surprise from somewhere, wherever it comes from, if it's a surprise, you're going to have this market move fairly aggressively because everyone's going to be caught off guard. For the most part, though, we are stuck in the range. 44.35 is the top end I'm looking at. If we can get above there, we might get an extension, but I'm going to be very careful because when the volume dies down, the extension, the priority of getting in immediately isn't there because it could take its time to kind of just settle in for a bit and then maybe take a shot, continuing on going afterwards. So 44.35, if we get above there, possibility of a potential long there. Same level on the bottom end, 43.90. That's been in place since we took out 44.25 last week. So for now, let's just say 44.35 breakout to the top. Anything below 44.10, we got potential longs. For now, at this price, 44.27, there's nothing happening. So I'm just going to wait. There could be, and this is the potential of when you have a slow market and you have levels already established, there could potentially be a setup on the sell side. If it starts to get into the 30s, starts to slow down without taking out the high, and then comes back into the mid 20s, then you could actually try to play off of this 44.30-ish area and try to make a move down towards 44.15, 44.10. So try to capture maybe 10, 15 points in between the big levels. But for now, just be smart. Like I said, it's August. Volume is going to be slowing down. Individual stocks may be running hot, but the market as a whole will be slowing down as the volume dips a little bit. It all only gets worse from here on out, right? As the month goes on, more and more people take vacations, volume dies down even further. So if you're trying to really make money in the general market as a whole, try to make it as fast as you can before it really slows down even further. If you're trading individual stocks, you have nothing to worry about because there's always going to be a catalyst, a new thing, a new day. And that may be the way to go. If you're looking for excitement, I think that would be the way to go in this market. The better way to trade it is go where the volume is hot, where there's a catalyst moving something versus the general market where it might be a little bit tougher to trade just because there's very little action on both sides.
All right, great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Speaking of one that was making a big move yesterday, guys, let's touch on Palantir here because we're higher again here in the pre-market, up 1% right now. It did test that high from yesterday already once, but pretty significant levels here, Sean. We were talking about this a bit yesterday. Impressive move for PLTR earnings Thursday this week.
Yeah. We're pretty loaded up with Palantir. We've been really happy about the performance of this one lately. However, it hasn't been that great. I mean, we came from 28 not even too long ago, June 29th. So that's a month ago. You're still out of the money if you bought anything up here. I don't know why. We weren't talking about buying anything up here at all. But we actually were talking a little bit about selling some. But you're up to this level. I think we could take this out on the 12th when they report, which is a couple days. So we'll see what happens here with Palantir. But it's this whole, and we're going to look at the reverse of this on Smile Direct, which we talked about yesterday before earnings. But it's this kind of coiling up right here that I really like on Palantir, and the fact that we're still below the 50-period moving average gives us a shot to take that out even today and then get ready for earnings, right? It could be disappointment just because of the move that it may have into earnings. So like yesterday, we bottomed out at 21.80. So now you're going to be up maybe $2 from that today if we can close 23.50, 23.80, somewhere around this 50-period moving average. So that's going to be like 10% in just over a day or 2 days, I guess, 2.5 days of trading. So it may be getting a little bit excited, but hey, yesterday's move got a lot of people excited there. Look at this. Look off the open. Like we opened 21.80, just where we talked about it there at the bottom of that candle, and then bang, 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 bang. You don't even basically stop and go at all until about 23, where we start to find some resistance up there at 23. And if we pick this out to a 3-minute chart, you're going to see here it hung out upside pretty much all day, which is really cool. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at. We're going to use this kind of levels, 22.80, 22.70. I do expect a little bit of a pullback. I think yesterday was such a monster day. So Palantir back into this area. I think today for a day trade would be a buy. So right now we have some bids. This is double check. I have some bids 05s. Just to get long in front of 23. And then we do have some bids littered in here. And we'll just protect this, man. I mean, I don't want to go hella long in case this retreats all the way back again. But we'll go long enough that, if it does start to pop, we're able to make a little bit of money. So let's watch Palantir. We know all the contracts they've been getting. We do know it's going to be a slow grind on this. We're not expecting anything crazy. But on any kind of miss, I want to buy more. However, I don't think this time they're going to miss at all. So I'm getting ready for Palantir to take out these levels and then trade in and around between 27 and 28 for a bit. And if we're lucky enough to get a pop over 30, then giddy up, let the horses out of the stable, because it's Palantir's time to run, baby.
Yeah, it's obviously got to get there at Thursday first. I mean, we got Tuesday. The double tops would interest me today. You see 23.30 on yesterday's action. You get a pre-market top. It's essentially the same high today. So I want to fade off that level if it gives me the chance off of 9.30, which it feels like it will. That you get that opening sort of rollover. Cannot take out 23.30, only because if we're sitting here in the teens and support is down at that 22.75, you sort of look back up here, it didn't even test that in the afternoon. Yeah, I mean, the risk to reward looks pretty good when it gets a parabolic move like that. Some people might be looking to take some profit off in front of that earnings play. So I'll take a look at that. I probably should have taken off some AMC there. Is it just the 37 bounce okay? If it goes up to 37.50, I'll definitely cover some again if it gets to that particular price, just to scalp some off there. It looks like it might not make that run at 38. If it's going to, it might not make that run at 38 till closer to the open.
All right, guys, a few analyst moves to be aware of so far today. Nothing terribly exciting on here. Notice this 5-serve moving around in the pre-market down about 0.5%. The trade desk has been on a bit of a run lately, positive again today, up about 1%. Arcturus on the watch list today, and that Smile Direct Club, pretty ugly report from them.
Yeah, Smile Direct, I kind of casually said there was a bid here on Smile Direct, and it's just going to show you level 2 here. This happens to be, just 100,000 shares on ARCA. It's done 700 pre-market, so it's not an insignificant number, and it's sitting at 551 sort of randomly here. And you get the downgrade. We're going to get to them on earnings for sure, but this is the story. Gapping to the downside. It's obviously pretty ugly, but worth noting, like that 551 is essentially the current low. It was the low in the aftermarket. It's the low right now. There's a big buyer sitting there. I want to fade this one if I can today. I won't get too crazy if it breaks that 580 level. I'll probably get patient until about 615 or so. But yeah, if you see like a short because 550 breaks, it has just as much to do with the size and the bid holding it there, and then you get the aftermarket as well. But it is short sell restricted. So 17% to the downside or 16% to the downside does mean that unless you're long, you can't hit that bid without an uptick. So you can try to get the shares on a break. Certainly I'll short it if it gets that little bit of a pop into the open. But we'll try to get shares if it breaks that order at 551. But SSR does mean no guarantees.
Yeah, Smile Direct. So we talked about this yesterday. We're already in this name right now. We were talking about it coiling up down here, but unlike Palantir, this is a different coil, man. I mean, this is down, tried to get higher, down, tried to get higher again, down, and then now you miss. So it was well worth the opportunity if you want to play options and you thought, okay, maybe there's a chance that it beats and you can get one of these green candles again, back from like 7 to 8, maybe even to 9 to 950 there. But the opposite happens, man. Lower revenues than expected, which is crazy. They were so low already from last year's COVID, so they missed that. 14 cents wider, 9 cent estimate loss there. So it's not good for Smile Direct. And then we break below. So, I mean, it was a no-brainer there at 650. You can't really catch that. So I came in and just got short right away. So we'll see. I mean, it's only 855. We talk about this, all these positions. All we're doing now is just kind of like paying for our fees throughout the day. So, you know, if you can make 50 bucks, 100 bucks, something like that in the pre-market and then lose an equivalent amount to that, then I think you're doing fine. Whatever your totals are, whatever your daily goals are, try to make like 5-10% of that or something like that in the pre-market, I think is pretty reasonable. And anyways, so as it comes downside there, we will look. I mean, if we can ever get anything, I mean, forget about this. This is the number came out. You couldn't hit it unless you were sitting right here. But 570, a good short, obviously. Anything into 6. I mean, I'm going to be shorting this thing all the way up. So this is either going to crush me or hopefully we'll crush it. So Smile Direct, we do want to be short all the way upside. I'm not going to average in like here, like all the way up. I want to pick specific prices. So how about 580, 575 or so for the next short in case we do pop up there. And then we'll play in this range, 640, 650, something like that, and then protect everything against 7. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm already short SDC. You can see that's what these purple ticks are. Oh, and I did want to say something here because Forrest, where are you? I like that name, by the way, Forrest. Where are you, Forrest? Anyways, you asked about why do we not have to, anyways, I responded to it. I don't know where it is. But you asked about why do we not have to worry about settlement or our funds being tied up the day after. So Neil and I are flat, Brendan as well. We're all, Valeria as well. We're all flat here heading into the close. So it's a prop firm. So what are you guys on the screen? It's a prop firm. So what we have to do is we have to be flat at the end of every day. So that means no positions. Whether or not you're long, you got to cover. If you're short, you got to cover. And then settlement, we don't worry about settlement. That's taken by Day Trade the World. So they'll settle those. And then we wake up the very next morning with the same amount of buying power. It's going to be different than margin, but we call it buying power with the same amount of capital to trade with that we did the day before, as long as we never got in trouble and got some of it reduced. So that's, and that never happens to me or Neil or Brendan, by the way. We get more money if we want it, right, Neil? But anyways, that's how that works. So you don't have to worry. Like when I say I'm buying Fisker and I tweet that out, that's in my own personal account for longer term holds or swing trades. But everything you're seeing us do here on the screen is for Day Trade the World prop firm, and we don't have to worry about settlement, and we don't have to worry about our funds being tied up with some of these trades overnight.
All right, a little one just popping up here. Fulcrum, guys, Fulcrum Therapeutics it was up early in the pre-market, but I'll show you the headline here. They released positive data on a blood disorder trial, so big mover here so far this morning, FULC, 70% now, 850 up to 14. Volume coming in here, guys, at 14. Thoughts on Fulcrum here, guys?
I'm going to get to the Fulcrum in a second and try not to mess saying that one up because, yeah, you'll live in infamy today. ZEV is on the watch list as well, guys. Lightning eMotors, it's a small EV startup. They got a potentially $850, up to $850 million contract, and it just broke 10 even to the upside, so I got the break at 10.02. I just want to show you quickly, daily chart, this is like 965. It already broke out from that level. Well, I mean, broke through that level. But when you retake it, I look to the even instead of just randomly 993 where it stalled out. I've already scalped some out at 1020. I want to offer at 1030 to take some more out here. But ZEV, it is running. I just finished saying in the chat, if this thing had broken 9, I was going to be shorting it off of this consolidation lower. If it had broken 9, I would have taken that to the south side. But it's on the midst of a breakout. It's a micro cap, guys, so I would watch out for liquidity at the open for sure. If it halts up, I'll always get out of this one, but ZEV on the move.
All right, guys, Touch on a few other things that are moving around in the pre-market coming up here, including AMC. We'll discuss that a little bit. There was another earnings report, Casper Sleep, that mattress maker also reported, so we'll keep an eye on Casper. I noticed Dave & Buster's was a little bit negative this morning as well. Overall, as we said, we're kind of wrapping up earnings reporting season. We will get some significant ones coming up this morning. There was one that SPCB, recent high flyer, Supercom, SPCB was up on earnings as well, so we'll talk about that. Coming up in the meantime, we're thrilled to have Scott Bradley joining us once again, Head of Sales and Global Business Development at the London Stock Exchange. And we're very happy because Scott is joining us from the studio at the LSE. The last time we spoke, Scott, you were unfortunately still in quarantine in your house. So we're so happy to see you, first of all, and to see that you're out of the house and everything's hopefully getting back to normal here. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you for having me, and good to see you as well. Yes, so exciting to be back in London and in the office today.
It's an exciting time as people get back to something that resembles normal. I want to touch a little bit on a recent announcement to start things off from the LSE, who announced, I guess it was last week, they're relaxing the free float rules to attract more quote unquote tech unicorns. Why don't you explain a little bit on where this move came from and what the thought is behind that in trying to maybe get some more IPOs?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I think what we're referring to here is the news around the Lord Hill Review, which was published in March, and it was a UK Treasury report, listings review report actually, which was looking at how to improve competitiveness and attractiveness of the markets in the UK. Not just for, you mentioned unicorns, not just for unicorns. This is for all companies of all sizes. I mean, to quote the wording here, the report is a proposal of reforms to attract the most innovative and successful firms, help them access the finance that they need to grow their businesses, particularly in a post-Brexit landscape. So this set of proposals has been tabled, potentially to be brought into play by the end of the year 2021. Really looking to modernise the listing rules of the FCA, but also maintaining the UK's high standards of regulation. And some areas of focus of these proposals touch upon areas of looking to improve the IPO environment. So the ability to, or the recommended admission of dual class share structures into the premium segment of the London Stock Exchange market. Now, as we know, the premium segment is a segment which is eligible for index inclusion, looking to reduce the free float, as you mentioned, which is currently at 25% free float. A recommendation to perhaps reduce that down to 15, or to have more flexibility on a per company size basis, basically looking at more appropriate measures of liquidity. That's what the free float was about, was liquidity coming to the market. And I think there's a realization that a well-formed, robust market can still occur without that 25% free float requirement. So potentially moving that down to 15%, or having more flexibility, as I said, and agility around other measures. Also some potential changes around the trading of SPACs in the marketplace as well. But it touches upon the prospectus regime as well, and looking to simplify and improve the prospectus regime. It looks at forward-looking information within the prospectus as well. Historically, it's been about a look-back review over companies, and potentially some more ability to have a look forward at companies coming to IPO on the market. And also the use of tech. The use of tech, particularly as it relates to the retail segment, looking to try and attract more retail activity in the markets, is an important feature of the UK strategy, and that's something that UK Treasury realises as well, and is looking to make those proposals to see if improved use of tech can be utilised to bring the retail market closer to the capital markets in the UK. Now, that's actually something that dovetails quite nicely, ironically, with our interest as the London Stock Exchange in primary bids. We have a stake in primary bids, which is looking to help democratise the access to the IPO markets for the retail market through digital apps and platforms. So that gives you a bit of a review of what we're talking about there. But just very, very briefly, as I was saying to you, this is not just about unicorns, as you mentioned. It's about companies of all sizes. And H1 in 21 has been a stellar year for the primary markets in the UK. 73 markets by the end of July IPO'd, which is the best start to a year for 7 years. 40% of those tech companies, actually. So, Wise was a great example. There was a direct listing of Wise only a month ago on the London Stock Exchange. So it's really talking about that stellar performance in light of post-Brexit, and also producing an exciting environment of a lot of different companies coming to market for investors to trade in the UK.
I want to make sure we touch on some. You mentioned a few things there, a few important things, including liquidity, Scott. And we're getting into the summer months. We're getting into August specifically, which is renowned globally as probably the slowest month of the year on the trading side of things. Talk a little bit about how volumes heading into the summer have been on the LSE, and what are you projecting to see throughout the remainder of the summer?
Yeah, so seasonality takes effect, and I think this year more so than last year, for sure. So over the last couple of months on a pan-European basis, we've seen a 3 to 5% decrease in on-venue activity taking place across all markets in Europe. So on-venue activity is about 45 billion euros a day across European venues. What we are actually seeing is a decrease during these quieter periods in lit trading activity, lit continuous trading across venues, including on LSEG lit markets in the UK. But we are seeing a slight increase in dark trading venues. We're seeing a slight increase in periodic auctions, but also SI. SI activity is increasing. And if we look at those liquidity providers in the market, the non-bank liquidity providers, we see that they are currently about 4% of the total European average daily value traded, with dark pools about 10%. So overall, the net is a decline, but we're seeing a greater decline in the lit continuous, which quite often happens this time of year as people do start to go on vacation and the holiday season kicks in.
When last we spoke, Scott, we discussed the post-Brexit approach as far as Turquoise is concerned, the LSE's alternate trading system. Touch a little bit on how that has played out as far as the rest of Europe is concerned throughout different marketplaces, and give us a general update here on Turquoise.
Yes, certainly. So running into Brexit, as you know, through European share trading obligation and other regulatory headwinds, there was a requirement for venues such as Turquoise to open up European entities, and we successfully did that in Amsterdam. So Turquoise Europe was launched under the regulation of the Dutch authorities, and we have seen a very successful wholesale shift, a once-in-a-market lifetime wholesale shift in liquidity for European trading activity onto those European venues. And Turquoise Europe now trades over 99% of the European business we see on our Turquoise platforms. So a successful migration across into a new trading entity, an entity in Europe which offers exactly the same trading functionality as investors were experienced in using and having success with in the UK. So dark block trading, conditional trading, periodic trading, lit activity, etc. Dark lit sweep functionalities, all available on the Turquoise Europe platform. So we saw a shift in the liquidity, and in fact we've actually, because of some liquidity provision scheme enhancements that we've been making in Q1, we've actually seen a slight increase in relative share of the lit trading activity that Turquoise is enjoying in Europe. So all in all, a very successful and very positive story to that post-Brexit migration on Turquoise. More broadly on the London Stock Exchange platforms, another very successful year so far for our ETP business. We've seen over 160 new issues come to market, half of which in the ETFs, half of which ETCs. half of the ETFs that have come to market have been with an ESG focus. So again, that's a trend we're continuing to see on London Stock Exchange, which is a real home for the green economy investor. And so that's about a 16% increase in turnover on the London Stock Exchange in the ETP space versus H2 last year. So we're seeing positive moves post-Brexit. London Stock Exchange, fantastic, stellar start to the year with IPOs, and that liquidity provision coming from our secondary markets activity continuing to prove strong and growing as we enter into Q4.
We love having you on, Scott, to highlight the opportunities outside of North America in general and throughout the European landscape. Scott Bradley, Head of Sales and Global Business Development at the LSE. It's always a pleasure. It's great to see you, as we mentioned. We look forward to an update in the future. Great to see you. Thank you very much. There we go, guys. Again, Scott Bradley, Head of Sales and Global Business Development at the LSE. We have we're fortunate enough, I guess is the way to say it here, guys, to at Day Trade the World have access to markets outside of North America. London, just one of those. We touch on a few from time over in Europe. So great opportunities still as far as liquidity is concerned. Over in Europe as well as North America, guys. So thoughts on the European landscape here?
I mean, most people look at the European markets for what is going to be dual listed, but there are definitely fantastic opportunities. And you sort of talk about some of the delivery names that have come through in London specifically, where you talk about like your Deliveroo's that have gotten their Just Eat Takeaway, which are going to be in play. For us here, I mean, obviously, we're going to be focusing on a lot of the U.S. names, but understand that a lot of times when you get bull markets, there are opportunities if you can trade or invest in Europe. You do get a bit of a lag sometimes where the European markets at later stages of a bull market give you a chance to get in some interesting names when they haven't run as high. Maybe we're sitting at highs here in the US, but it's always something to keep in mind. You should always be looking to learn and expand your horizons. Speaking of expanded horizons, one of the things we're trying to do here, I did say I would get some out of AMC in front of 3750. I did just now. I can't hit anything for you guys. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. And then ZEV. I mean, a lot of times I'd only look to the short side of the trade, but that was a break that had to be had at $10. It got up to 10.50 here and has made a pullback right into like 10.05, and then is breaking back to the upside. So if this takes out a fresh high, I want to hold. I'd love to be in this one at the open, just in case it does one of those crazy more parabolic moves to the upside, and then maybe halts into that, which of course, if I halt and I'm in a long position, I'm getting out on the opening print, usually. I mean, I'd have to do something really, really crazy, but it's already up 60%, so a nice gain here, but you never went broke taking profits, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I missed that ZEV one, and I'm not going to take profits on Fisker. We're going to see if this one can continue to run. We already took one piece out there, and now we're just going to let this rest run to the upside. But you asked about other markets, and I just think right now you got to be very, very careful that you're trading the names with liquidity, and I think that's sort of what Scott was hitting at as well there with some of the new, ideas that they're having there with Turquoise and with the LSE. This is the worst time of year as far as volume is concerned. So you want to look at names like we have on the watch list, like we have on the sticky note there, that are actually moving. And you will find lots of those kind of names over there in the LSE as well. I mean, there's even some dual listed names. So definitely worth having a check out in that market if you're able to trade there.
Speaking of what is moving around in North America this morning, let's get into the morning note, guys. We send it out every single morning before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. That is the link. All you need is an email address to grab that every single morning. AMC Entertainment reporting pretty good quarter here, guys. It was still a loss, but $444.7 million in the quarter. That was up from $18.9 million year over year. Obviously, pandemic affected going back last year, but EPS still a loss of about 71 cents here for AMC.
Yeah, like it's not like they've shuttered into profitability and are rolling in cash. Although they've been able to raise, as we talked about here. I don't know why my daily is still on AMD. We got a super chat, and I'll get to AMD after we sort of run back through AMC here. There's been a couple of days worth of rally. 15 is going to show you a little bit better, and we went over some of these levels here to both talk about the 37 potential break, and this is a pure momentum play up here, guys. Ultimately. Sure, you can say recovery, you can say the that they beat. They absolutely did beat. That's fantastic. I think it's good that they made some deals here to ensure that you get some runway in theater for new releases, so it's not all straight to digital. That's going to be important. Getting butts in seats, of course, by adding theaters is going to be good for them. But like, it's the price action, and when you're trading up 10% today and you're trading at $37, it's going to be about the momentum mostly. So you get a good print here. 37 was a pre-market break. It got there in the aftermarket as well. There was a little bit of a cluster here at 37, but not much of one. But I like that for an even dollar break. We took it. We bought the dip buy as well. $40 stands out to me as first resistance because it was a double top. Probably a bigger double top at 41 if it ever got there. So you got to watch for that entire dollar range. And I don't think, like, I wouldn't be short into strength until we got to 40-41. I think people would need to see that print before really digging in there. And I would anticipate you might see some larger size orders that will be selling in that $40 to $41 range if AMC ever got there. And only because we did get the super chat. My thoughts on AMD are technically essentially the same thing I said in the aftermarket show, and I believe we talked about in the morning show as well. When you had that squeeze to the upside, and yes, AMD, because of the Xilinx thing, there was shorts in AMD that were having to unwind because there's like arbitrage that happens when you talk about any of these big deals, and there's been all kinds of regulatory issues with all of the semi deals, and in general there's more scrutiny on deals in this current environment. If you look at the 15, I'll zoom in just so you can see here. If you look at the 15, I was watching this 107.20, so break here on the second, pull back 107.20, ramp up, hold that, and then you get your 2-day squeeze to the top at 120. Since we came in yesterday, you had that 107 bottom again, so if AMD takes out 107, I like it for the short. It's just a pure momentum play. I think there's some runway to the downside. I wanted it hopefully to be in that 107 to 107.20 range into this, what was this low in the morning, at least before it got broken. This 108 range, probably give it to like 109 before I consider a break. If it bounces and holds 107, I like to break out at 109, but I'm not doing anything in the stock unless it tests the low. So I'm shorting a break of 107. If it doesn't break 107 but tests the level, then I'd like a breakout, either at pre-market highs, 108.50, splitting hairs, or 109. But that's the way I want to play AMD. I like that level. We talked about it in the aftermarket. I like that level still here today, not touching it in the middle till I see a test.
Yeah, we sold our AMD at 119.50, was 10% out of that position. So some out at 98, some out at I think it was like 108. We're off the check. Maybe it was 112, and then again at 119. So good call there. I mean, when you get a double in a stock, you should probably take it. Here's AMC. Well, I mean, I didn't take it all, but whatever. Here's AMC. So we've just been buying these dips into $37, bang there, and then now we'll see back to 36. So I'm a buyer all the way for some of those reasons that Neil said. I like the fact that they're changing up their business, but right now, okay, Fisker, up to 1806 now. This is my biggest position, Fisker, so most conviction there. I also bought Fisker yesterday, so that's a good call, hopefully. $36 right here. I like that bid, and then I don't mind it all the way back to 35. So let's wait to see what AMC does. I'm averaging in all the way back to 35, and we'll see. But, it's not going to take any more trades until we get, to the low 36s. I have some bids here, 36.40, 35.40 to the downside, and then we'll see what happens at 35. But other than that, man, let's see us break through 38. I like it a lot.
Let's talk about Beyond Meat because headline just popping up there. Not a lot of volume yet, guys, but up 2% here. They're expanding their partnership with Pizza Hut to test a new plant-based Beyond Pepperoni pizza, guys. So more positivity here. We had a big move yesterday, 2 days in a row, in fact, for BYND, up 2% here pre-market.
Yep. I mean, I just wish we would have got Beyond Meat, and I did a nice little funny reel there for Instagram the other day, which got quite a lot of views, and it was about the earnings, when the earnings came out there, and it's up to one, I mean, I really liked it. I'll never forget about when it was down here. That was a great buy. And then I just thought we could reload it and get long down here again at 110, but that never came through. So we'll wait to see where it goes from here. Obviously, new ventures with Pizza Hut. I saw that, and then I went over here, and it didn't really, I mean, this was that spike, and then since then I've been looking at it, and there's really no runway to get in right now. It's only 31,000 shares. The spread is 50 cents. So, I don't know. I really like Beyond Meat here. I think it's something that you could buy, especially buying on any weakness. And I just want to get longer in my own portfolio. I'm long from the IPO. I still have some, but I want to get longer and I want to buy some in here, 115, 116, somewhere like that. We just missed it the other day. So whether or not it comes back, I don't know. But on any market dip down, I want to be a buyer of Beyond Meat. So more products, more money. That's the way I'm looking at that. And there goes Fisker, by the way. Oh, we can't hit anything, so I won't. But there we go. A nice little move. We just took some out. Oh, that's still Beyond Meat, but we just took some out of Fisker right there. 1824 we just got there as the high of the day. 1825. You guys know I always trade around the quarters. So there we go, man. Starting it off with a nice beginning to our day here with only 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes till the open. I mean, Beyond Meat, the volume's not that good, but there are some things that are moving. Just another one post earnings here. I have a bid on Plug. I want to get to this one. It turned around off of 29.75, and I want to dip by around this cluster here around 29.30. Just worth noting, after earnings, we did talk about it trying to break out from this consolidation point. We were 0 for 1 taking it, but it's still trying to take out the top of the range. It finally broke 29, trying to get to that 50 period that you see. So Plug Power 5%. Of course, with the infrastructure bill and with everyone talking about certainly renewable energies, there is a push across the board. So a lot of these names are moving to the upside. Plug just in the midst of a little bit of an attempted break, and this is what I mean by that 29 going. So 28.8, 28.88 2 days ago was a high. You had a high yesterday in the action. I think basically back down to that, or the 3/4 is going to be my stop on Plug. So I'll be buying the dip. 28.75 would be the out, pretty simply, but finally getting that potential breakout here on Plug Power. That ZEV is pulling right back into 10, guys. So if that breaks 10, I mean, I like 9 for a short, much better, but it could actually flush my 40 or 50 cents if it makes a 10 break.
All right, let's talk about Fisker, guys. We saw it a little bit there in the pre-market if you joined us early, but Morgan Stanley out aftermarket yesterday talking about a $40 price target, reiterating the fact that they are the only EV startup to be able to not only deliver on some of these dates that they promised, but also have the capacity already in place to expand manufacturing, guys. So pretty positive here for FSR.
So we tweet this out yesterday as soon as it happens, man. And we got in, we put our money where our mouth is. And that's what it is, man. We just stepped in. I think it was $16.90 or so. My price was $17. I put it into the broker. We got a better price than that. So it doesn't matter even if it's at 17. Fisker jumps. So this was, that was tweeted out by an account that I follow. It's a $40 price target, not 90. So I cut and paste that, but there it is. We picked them up at 14, so we did like that. I also want to show everybody that something is brewing right now, and I tweeted it out yesterday. If you want to look, this is Neil's new desk. So if anybody has any ideas what is up, you can find out about that one on Twitter. And a couple people message here. There's about 10 or so responses on there. Some of you are right, some of you are wrong. Oh, and also this morning, very, very nice coffee machine here. Jura, nice coffee this morning. So we're having some of that, and we almost need a refill right there. We'll see that when it comes up to, when do you normally get it for us? 9:45, 10 o'clock? Yeah, right after bell. Okay, even better than I thought. Okay, so here we go, Fisker. So we take a long as soon as we get in. Well, not as soon as we get in, as soon as it breaks that 1770. I wish we would have took it down here, but it breaks that 1770 right there. We get in. I think it's nothing but love for Fisker to the upside. We are very nervous about this 1650 if it does break there. I'm still not in love with the EV space. I can't really get behind it. I'm long Ford in the single digits, and then we're long GM in the 40s. So we've been aggressive buying that. We're not buying anything at the top now. I haven't put more money into Ford or more money into GM, and I'm kind of hesitant to put it into Fisker. But when they come out and say that, you know, the Ocean's on track, looks like they're going to be one of the more successful EV plays that are out there. They actually have a product, and they're actually making moves. So let's wait to see if Fisker can go. We're in here at 1770. Our first out was at 18. Our second out was at 1825. And if there's any guessers on where my next out's going to be, and if you said 1850, you're going to be right on that one. As AMC right now, man, this is a good day so far, man. 3760. AMC continues to run to the upside. We have an offer right here. Where is my offer, man? 37.79. So 10 more cents upside, and we'll take this one out for 50 more cents. But Fisker, we love it. There's only 7 minutes to go. Just looking at a daily chart here for Fisker, we're now above that period average. I probably will get out of the majority of these shares here. If we can get this up to $20, $21, man, and I can make 25% in just a couple days on Fisker, then that would be really, really sweet. but that's going to be a play here on Fisker. So right now, everything working good, man. Smile Direct. We believe in it. We average in. Now we're short. We're going to go. We're 3 for 3 here on very, very simple plays. Fisker long, AMC long, and SDC short. No messing around, guys. Like 1-2 ins there, right there. In, out, there, and then AMC, we've just talked about that as well. So 6 minutes to go, Brendan, and lots happening.
Let's get some levels on that Smile Direct Club. They reported $174 million in second quarter revenue versus $198.5 million expected. That equated to a 14-cent per share loss, wider than the 9-cent per share loss expected. So not good, obviously. Short is pretty obvious here, but matter of where, guys.
I mean, there was that buyer. Yeah, I mean, anywhere is probably a good, not a horrible answer. Look, at the end of the day, you have to trade your own book and trade the risk levels. I waited for that buyer to get broken, was actually able to get shares at 49, 151. It was at 100,000 shares just sitting on the bid. And at the time, it was 1/7 of the pre-market volume or thereabouts. There is, and the only reason I'll show it, there is a low at this like 360. I think it's like 365 or so. And if you zoom in enough on the daily chart, I can't pull this. This is ridiculous. Anyways, if you zoom in enough here, you can kind of see that there was like a mild support level here, and when it bounced double bottom off of 365, and that'd be at 520. So, I mean, if it got to 520, you start taking at least half of it off, at least I think, and then see if it can't work to the downside. I wanted to short this one into pops, but first would be into that current 570 pre-market high. If it broke that, I think I would maybe look back to like 6 to 615, and then if that broke, I'd probably just sort of back off until it gets to that 6.5 mark. But I'd take it multiple times in here today for Smile Direct. It is SSR, but it was pretty solid liquidity, so I was able to actually hit that bid, and there was an uptick and able to get into the short. So enough liquidity that I don't think it'll be too big of a concern to get shares on Smile Direct.
So the only DYNT, I don't know if we're going to, not to B.
What?
DYNT. This is a name that I'm going to go hella long on this name. If it does squeeze, it's only 11 million share float, 22 million share market cap, a better quarter than expected. So right now, this to me, right here at 180, we're going to watch out for that one, breaking DYNT. So just that's it. I've covered everything now on my, and we also do have Robinhood, going to be watching out for Robinhood as well. We did take out a piece there on Smile Direct. We got 46s there. So again, not bad. There's really going to be no levels for Smile Direct. You have to push this chart way, way back. See all the way back here. So there's really nothing to look at. Obviously a $4 or $5 just as a mental area here. I don't think we get to $4. That would be ridiculous, but we could get to $5. So we do have some more bids on the low side here for Smile Direct. So let's wait to see where we go for that one. But so far, so good here on SDC. And before I throw to Brent at the screen, quickly, just to check on the imbalance locator, as we always get asked about that. There's Uber off of a decent quarter. That went down as low as 38, 39 there, back to 43. So not bad. Yeah, there it is right there on earnings. So that would have been a nice pickup down there. And then other than that, Neil's talking about ZEV right there. That should be a good play. We'll see where that goes. And then Fisker right now on there as well. SNDL, a lot of you like that cannabis. So there goes not that you like cannabis, but the plays there. SNDL, maybe you do. Downside today, 83 cents. The marijuana space just needs to get going. I'm going to put more money in GRWG and Smile Direct rather than some of these little pot producers.
I was going to mention that ZEV as well, guys. I just realized my daily chart has not loaded entirely, but if you go out far enough on the daily chart, 1050, pretty obvious level as far as resistance is concerned. You can see it's already rejected at the highs with the highest volume of the pre-market anyways at 1050. This is a long for me until it breaks. So 950 would be broken if it's holding below 950. Back to the downside, watch out for 9, and then this thing's come a long way. Was 650, 640 yesterday. So huge range for ZEV, guys.
Yeah, I remember we had the long at 10, took it into that 1050 level, and then reversed when it broke down to 10. So I'm actually short here, literally at $10 exactly. But there is I'm in DYNT already. You can see a sort of barcoding here. We have a few minutes until that open. I actually want to talk about 3D, and we'll try to in a second. But DYNT just starting to roll over. I wanted to get more shares up around like a 165 level, but I'm going to start covering already at 155. This stock was a 130 close. And the reason why I'm more aggressive to get out or to scalp out. We always scalp out in this position, but let's have a look at what the support looks like. This stock is almost certainly going to have support at 125 to 130. So you're really not going to get much more than like 10 to 15% move on any kind of a pullback on DYNT, but I'll be perfectly happy if we can catch that. It's up only about 20%. The volume is pretty solid, but it's very, very stable. Like, look at all the barcoding going on. So you kind of have to be a little bit tighter. Like early when it pushed to the downside, I actually anticipated a 1 or 2 cent consolidation. It ended up being like 3 or 4, but I still kind of maintain that it feels like if it breaks that 165, you're looking for high. Pre-market high is 175. That can be a decent level as well. AMC is back to flat at 37 with just about a minute to go. I do believe Miss V is going to be on the bell. And is Randy here? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to go on. I don't have the countdowns. These boys are going to have to hit the countdown fourth. We have about 40 seconds to go. But Smile Direct Club, I also did get a few shares out there, and we'll take some more out all the way down towards those quarters with 30 seconds. And yeah, there goes ZEV. It's at like 988. I'm going to park some bids in front of like 950 to see if we can't take some out of that one as well. And it's odd. We haven't talked as much about Robinhood, but we should look at on Robinhood. 56 is a big level on Robinhood as we're about to drop the countdown. It is Tuesday. Here we go. 10, 9, 8. Oh, no countdowns. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Drop it. Prad is on. That's right. Of course, Prad's on the bell today.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pradman there, ringing that bell to start the day for us. So thank you to Pradley there. Good job. Okay, Fisker right now, AMC, things starting to move around a little bit here, so let's wait to see where we go. Welcome to Cardano land as well, as Cardano kicking butt today up to 160 right now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that one. Let's wait to see where AMC goes. Lots of volume right now. We're going to get longer. Watch out for 35 break. That's our kill spot, guys.
Yeah, and immediately Smile Direct hits that 538 level, so I did get more shares out of that one. I should say I would hit something if I could, but I can't, so I won't. AMC looking like it is heading back to that southbound range. It's going to be the next one of concern for me because you talk about that 36. I don't want it to break. We scalped some out. Now you got to go hunting for a bit of a dip buy. Smile Direct continues to go down. I did get Plug. Remember Plug Power, we're taking a buy in the dip. I just got 29.33. 75s is my stop on Plug.
Okay, we're rocking and rolling over here as well right now as Fisker, guys, starting to move a little bit as well to the upside. We do have Palantir long. We're trying that one out just to see where we can go with Palantir down to 2305. It's moving to the downside right now, so it's not an absolutely fantastic play by any stretch of the imagination. But let's wait to see where we go here on Palantir. Now it's going back to the upside, so a nice little win here. Good job. And then there goes Smile Direct. Bang! We talked about that. This is why the sticky note remains supreme, guys. We're short this one. As soon as we got in, we punched the crap out of this thing short, and there it is. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I'm just going to cover some of my Smile Direct, but I have to get over to Plug Power here. And look, it spikes right down into that 35 mark that we just said, and it's right back at the high of the day here. And I might have just looked a gift horse in the mouth. I actually can't hit the key here, but bought the dip. It's finally breaking out here, this Plug Power, which we've been looking for. I'll try to take some out for about like a 25 penny winner to scalp it, because last time it was in this range, I don't think I was necessarily aggressive enough taking the profit when we had it, and then buying the dips when they were certainly there. So going to go over to that one. And then, of course, Smile Direct, as Sean mentioned, I just got some out in front of 5, because 5 is too obvious a level not to have a bid in front of, and it just spiked back up to 515. I don't know if I can rinse and repeat shorting this thing unless, I don't know, like a 5 break or like 525 for a reload, but the only things that make any sense to me, ZEV, another one here. I can't actually hit a key for you guys because we can't. 950 about to get tested on ZEV. Although I'm not sure this one's opened up on the New York yet, so still waiting for an opening print from what I can tell on ZEV.
Yeah, ZEV, good reversal there on that long. Look at Fisker. Go, Fisker. This is, I can't hit any keys. Go, Fisker. This is exactly what we're talking about. What a day we're having already. It's 6 for 6 here. We'll wait to see AMC. We've averaged into AMC. Our average price right now, $36.60 on that one. Fisker, $1. Yeah, hello. Maybe I should log into my account and get the hell out of Fisker, as we're already at 19, guys. This is a pipe dream. We bought this thing yesterday, $16.90. It's up to $19 in Rip City right now. now. Check out your boy Palantir as well. That's Rip City. Let's go. How about Smile Direct? Hello, Smile Direct. You're in the building right now. So the only thing that's left for us to do is watch AMC. We just had an opportunity to get out. We've averaged into this one. Let's see where we go from here. But wow, what a big, nasty day today. Thank you for joining us, man. If you can't tell, I'm excited. This is a monster day already, guys.
Yeah, I got that reverse. Just got 960s out here on ZEV. We'll take it and run away from it, at least for now. IMV, and apologies, I don't think we actually got to this one in the pre-market, but it's not moving just yet. It was a bit of a rollover type play here through 220. I wanted it to pop maybe off the highs here to 225, 235. There's no entry that way, but I can be calm. I can wait. If it pops into the high of the day, I want to play a little bit of a reversal there. And Moderna, yeah, Moderna, it did it. I missed it. It is what it is. I was watching I'm already in 5 stocks at the particular time, guys, so it's going to happen. We talked about it popping to 500 and shorting a pop. There it is. That's $25, and I'm kicking myself because I missed Moderna. Brendan?
Early volume, guys, on some of the cloud names so far. Cloudflare, Net, big pop through 126, immediately reverses back to 125. A couple of upgrades on this one today.
Oh, hell yeah. What a great day this has been today, guys, so far. Look at Fisker. Go, Fisker, go. We just tweeted that one out, man. We are now $1.70 in the money on this $16 name. So let's just continue to move to the upside here. Cannot believe what's happening right now with Fisker as that just keeps on going up, 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 and away. We also did just, look at this. Man, we took Ethereum right here. ETHE. Shout out to our friend Jeff Mendel. Right there. Bang. What a big trade that was as well. Palantir, upside. We're getting cleaned out on a lot of these, man, taking a lot of these stocks out. So let's just keep on watching this go to the upside. The only position right now that's obviously in a problem is AMC, but we're going to give that one back to 35. So let's see if we can't let this one continue to run, guys. AMC, let's go.
Just got the reload from Miss V. I got into AMD there when it broke the bottom end of the range. It took out that 107, just looking over my other charts here. Took out that 107 range. But Moderna, if it pops back up, I do want a second crack at this. I'll probably look back to a lower high, and I'm watching 488 as the particular price. But we'll be calm about it. We'll sit back, relax, plug. Like we said, we did get some out there in front of the pre-market highs. It's now breaking 30, so we're sitting $1 in the money on Plug Power. I would like to be able to play dip, but this is like breaking that 50-period moving average. And it has been a slow gainer. So I am watching for obvious signs of a crazy turn here, but Plug off to the races upside. ZEV off to the races downside, now at 940. So that one sits about 50 pennies in the money here. And I don't think Plug is going to halt or anything, but it is now $1 in the money, and it could fail through that 30. It has yet to really take out that 30 quarter mark.
All right, guys, everything just rocking and rolling. Let's check back in on that DYNT here. We're still waiting for that to break to the high side there. I know you got out of yours. It didn't really do much here. Yeah, we'll wait to see. Maybe this isn't going to do anything, but we did target this one on the sticky note for that 180 break. So here we go again on this one. Let's see where we go for here. So that is DYNT right now, trying to make some moves. So we'll see if it does. But that's DYNT right now, looking like it wants to go to the upside. We'll just play on that. We'll see if it can go, guys. DYNT.
Yeah, and we're starting to slow down a little bit in Plug. I feel like if there's a sharp pullback, I'm definitely going to be involved in it anyways. I remember the last time, but this definitely happened. I'm looking 30 quarter does give you a breakout style trade, right? So if I get a dip, I'm looking 20, I'll shoot 29.75, 29.75 will be the play on Plug Power. Can't hit a key, but I can send you guys over to Brendo.
Clover, guys. Clover Health just popping up here on a volume scanner. Not seeing anything significant as far as headlines, but big day yesterday. Remember, did end the day around this 9 area. We end up holding there. Day highs just made there 4.5% for Clover Health.
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, we did buy some of that at around $10, so we'll see where that one goes from now. That's Clover Health. We'll watch that. Okay, so right now AMC is trying to make a little bit of a march back. We did take some out there at 36 for a loser, but you know we still can make a lot of money on this one. We just need it to go. So hopefully that can happen here sooner rather than later on Clover. On AMC. Back to the upside. Our average price still not good, man. 36.40. So we'll wait to see if that's going to come into play now for us here on AMC. Trying to make that march back, man. Fisker, good out on that one, man. I'd hit a button. We don't have it, so we'll just go bang with the paper there and throw this away. But that's a good trade now, out at 19. Like I said, man, when that was ripping up there, I just wish I could log in and get out. We're long 17. It's a nice payday, believe me, when I tell you that. But we still need this to go a little bit more to the upside, and then we'll cash out even more. But we only have now that 20, 40, 60, 80. So we have 20% left. This one cannot be a loser. We're super happy with this trade right now. So Fisker, let's see where we go from here. But good trade there. Palantir, man, I mean, let's go again on Palantir. This is the kind of day it's been. Palantir right now, big time money moves. We talked about buying it back at 23, and now we'll see if this can go for a ripper as well today. So lots of moves happening, man. Really, really happy with today's day so far. Let's see where we go.
Yeah, and ZEV coming back, and we took that profit at 960. I can show you Plug. I got out. It pulled back harsh, so we got basically the perfect exit out of Plug Power there. But here comes ZEV. We like the 930 rollover, but it doesn't test the high till after it gives us profit, and then jumps right back in. So we talk about this setup over and over again, and there's a reason I say this ad nauseum. Because when it works, and you have a defined out. ZEV 1034, it's immediately 70 pennies in the money here, and I was sitting waiting for it. We talked about this. Brennan even mentioned the 1050 level. 930 pop and rollover is going to work here for ZEV. If it continues to break lower, I'm hanging on for this level. I want the 9 to get tested. We'll take some more out here for about $1.15 to $1.20 winner if we can catch it. And remember, first thing I said was I was looking for a 9 break. Well, I don't need a 9 break now because we shorted on the pop. But if 9 gets taken out, I do want shares on board, so I'm going to hang on through a 9 even break if we can catch it. I mentioned Plug Power. Now I can show it to you because ZEV was on the move, so I want to make sure we covered that. But as we broke 30, I said, looks like Plug could turn here at 30.25. I got out, took it at 30.10 there, so it ends up being the right call. Now we're looking for a dip. It's a violent move back. It's actually trying to hold this 29.75 as we speak and not doing a very good job of it, quite frankly. So I might have to think back to where we got in on the lower high, not 29.25, actually 29.30 and change, but in front of 29.25. If this gets any deeper, that's where we'd have to buy Plug back. Already been a pretty good one. And thank you guys for pointing out NVAX. I haven't looked at that today, but I wanted to get over to Moderna. I thought I'd be able to short a pop. I thought it might get into the 85, maybe to like 88 range, which you mentioned. Nope, Moderna back on the low of the day. So, I mean, the 930 rollover worked perfectly on ZEV. It worked as well on Moderna, but really percent move, ZEV is going to be the better one. I'm just kicking myself because we said 500 was the only level we'd like to short on Moderna, and then it actually gave it to us, for crying out loud.
What up, Beep?
DraftKings, guys. I remember yesterday, big move on that Golden Nugget announcement. Again today, 2.5%. Big volume again today for DKNG.
No complaints from this side. We did not sell anything yesterday, so let's wait to see where DraftKings goes the rest of the day. Okay, AMC, I see you, man. Comes back to flat. We take a little bit out. Now we're just hopefully going to play this to the long side. Well, we are long. Now we'll see if it can get back here. Unfortunately, we were waiting at 35.40. We talked about that in the pre-market. There's my 36.40 that we waited for. We're waiting at 35.40. So that only goes down to 35.50. So maybe we'll make a mental note there on AMC, 35.50. But we're all the way back now. So not a winning trade so far, obviously, because we got out. But we'll wait to see. This is a good average for us, 36.40. This is where we wanted it. So let's see. I mean, my next out's hopefully going to be up here, man, like 37.50, 37.30, something in there where we can make that dollar and turn this trade into a profitable one. So that's going to be AMC right now. And we talked about a little bit, and I hope Shakib and anybody else here that's with me on ADA, man, we last bought this at $1. It's at 160 right now. So Cardano, 60% there in a week. Well, maybe 2 weeks. Congratulations, anybody that's bought Cardano with me as we're getting a bump up, man. Wait till they release those smart contracts. Then it's game over. Adios, amigos. Let's go long with ADA. If you're not already, you might have missed it. What's up, Brendan?
Big volume on Moderna, guys. It did, in fact, open above 200 billion in market cap. So definitely surpassing Merck to the upside for the first time. But back to positive here. And then some. Big volume just came in at 475 there for Moderna.
That stock is absolutely gangbusters volatility. 3D Systems, another one here pushing to the upside. We did talk about this one in the in the afternoon show, I should say, at the 3 o'clock. It broke 35. Now, like 3 times, it's actually taken out this 35 level. Parabolic on the upside. This is a stock that actually, it got off the schneid a long time ago, really, at the end of the day, and it has a chance to maybe get back to this 40 to 42 level. Is it going to do it in one day? I kind of think that's not true. So hopefully it's an orderly fashion. Because I'd love to be thinking, and this is going to get like rather arbitrary, but like 31.50, and you look at a $4 move in yesterday's action, I kind of want to split that in half and think if it's a pullback, looking at $2, 33.5 is what I would look for to try and buy the dip. After having already missed out on it, AMD, it's still squarely within the range that we like for that short side trade. I had it up on the 15-minute chart here, guys. That's when we went over it. I mean, so we broke that 107, but it's still sort of hanging out between that 107 and that 108. So there's really not much to do with it just yet. It did try to test higher. If it had actually tested 108, I probably would have added to it somewhere, but this could just be one that I might end up sitting in for quite some time. Just thinking that once we broke back down below that range that I was talking about, you're trying to fill this little gap in here. So, I mean, first targets would be in and around in front of that 105, and then you're looking at that 104 gets breached, and you're probably talking to like a 102 range. So there's room to pull back in here. A lot of that shoot up, at least the second and third parts of it, or the last couple of parts of that shoot up in AMD did have to do with some hedging getting blown up with the Xilinx deal. So this is like unwinding a little bit here and unwinding, not a little bit, unwinding a lot is Smile Direct. This is now again at $5. It bounced once. I had taken some out at $5.09. Oddly enough, I took some out at $5.09 again. That's pretty random of a price. Actually, it's kind of a coincidence because I just meant to buy in front of 5. But if it breaks 5 even, it's hang on for dear life. There's no levels here once you get past $5 until you get to that low, which I believe is at 365, the all-time low on Smile Direct.
Yeah, we talked about not doing anything on that one until at least, we're down to 4 now. Sorry, down to 5 now. So that was a good trade, man. 560, and we're all over that one like crazy. So a good little win there for Smile Direct. We like that one a lot, actually. So good trade there. And just to check back on Fisker, it went back to where we were. The high of the day. So let's see if it just relaxes out here. And then there we go, man. So we're getting ready to get knocked out here a little bit. We did get a nice price there, but now we're long again. So we're gonna wait for 35 to come through here on AMC. I don't have any offers out. It looks like we'll probably just get taken out of this one and not really on the good side of this trade. So we tried to buy AMC all day today, thinking that there may have been a rally in store, but it looks like there is not. So right now, AMC, our last buy is right there. So our average price is $35.80. It's not the end of the world, but we are going to need a rally back here. It looks like it wants to test. Here it comes. Looks like it wants to test 35. So those of you that are still in this name, I don't love it. So watch out now with AMC. Man, it's going to test that 35 area right here, and I got to get out. So 34.80, something like that, on the outswing here for AMD, guys.
Yeah, and I said I'd look at NVAX, so I'm finally getting to it. It's up 12%. I'm looking at my daily, which isn't completely loading, but it's kind of a level here if it gets to that 240 again, and I say again because it was just here a couple of minutes ago, and then made a failed break at that 240 level. Now you're consolidating lower, so it still has a chance to break out the same level. But if you've ever seen this setup, you kind of know if you get a failed break and even after a parabolic moves, it gives a very structured, out. So if I can catch it in this consolidation, sometimes I should probably just maybe hit the position before I start opening my mouth and talking about it, because there it goes. I can go ahead and cancel that order, whatever. So anyways, just talking about that, fail break at 240, consolidate lower. You just saw it drop like right in front of me, like $3 there. So I'm not going to chase this. That was the move right there on NVAX. So wasn't quite fast enough to get over to it, but you guys know that setup. Brendo?
This one popped up late in the day yesterday. We were talking about it a little in the afternoon. AHPI, Allied Healthcare Products, a medical equipment maker. Big volume on this one. Took out that high from yesterday, 1140 right out of the gate, but 15, guys, big time levels for AHPI.
Jude Fernando, I'm glad someone got the NVAX short, Novavax short. I just like that setup. You risk like $1.50 to $2 on that, and then if it comes to, even VWAP is shooting like 4 to 1 at that point. So not that hard to imagine a 2 to 1. One we are in, by the way, ZEV. This stock is like, it just keeps on trying. Now, obviously, it's been pretty good, but most of that has to do with the fact that we actually got good prices on the reversal. It stalled at 1050. Okay, we kind of thought that might happen. I covered just below break even on the long, reversed into short, 1, 2, and then waited for the 930. Well, it's more like 938, the pop, but I was waiting till after the market opened for that potential pop. It's held now twice, randomly at 935, so not even at that $9 support range. That still means 1050 is set up for a break. I will not get more shares into the short side of this trade. Unless it would have to be at like 1045 or 1047 with a 1050 stop on ZEV. And it really needs to take this level out at 935. I'll probably take some more shares out in the 50 range if I get a shot at it. I don't want to turn what's been a good day in ZEV into any kind of like a disaster by over trading it at this point, when the best short was probably this one right here. And if it doesn't follow through, you're burning your day when it just gave you like a 70 or 80 cent winner on like a $10 stock. No need to get too greedy, although we'll be a little greedy with it.
Yeah, we are going to be a little greedy. Look at AMC right now, guys. Nice win, man. 70 cents now in the money, putting us right back to positive territory here on AMC. So good hold, good hold. There's that 35.40 that we wanted to buy into that cluster. So now we can hopefully wait, and see if AMC wants to continue its travels northbound here. But we have been taking some out, so we are being very, very cautious here with AMC. It's earnings day, so we got to trade some of the volume. Let's put another offer out right there at 25 and get out. There it goes, ripped to the upside. Let's go, AMC. Nice move here, AMC. Really happy with this one. Get out in the 30s again if we can. We'll put an offer upside in the 30s. Hit it. There it is. Yes, sir. Another out. Go, AMC. AMC now starting to make those moves that we thought were going to come at some point. And there it is, man. $1 now in the money on AMC, putting us positive on the day for that name. So good trade there, hopefully, on AMC. Fisker still bouncing around. Smile Direct, man. Again, this is the #1 trade on here. We talked about that. You can't miss guide lower in this environment. You're going to get crushed. So AMC, obviously nothing but love to the upside, and SDC, nothing but love to the downside. And other than that, man, Palantir, we've cashed out of it. Whoa, that one went to 50, did it? I missed that if it did. But now we're coming back in a little bit for Palantir. We'll get out if it breaks. Well, actually, we won't. We'll average into this one. We've already crushed it on the long here. So Palantir with a nice win. And there's a couple good outs again for AMC into those 36.40 area, the same spot that we initially bought. So that's a good dip buy right there, putting us profitable on AMC. So let's go. Big day continues.
And that bid just got chewed up there on Smile Direct at 5 even. Like we said, there was liquidity, even though it's short sale restricted, and there absolutely was able to get 98s to add to the position to the short side. We've only really shorted on the 550 break and then the 5 even break. So there's really nothing very scientific about that, guys. It's like even dollar breaks, and then in both cases, size on the bid and an even dollar break, and we'll go with it. So Smile Direct continues into that downside trade. I'll go back over to, if I can, this DYNT. So apologies, because I know there's a lot moving, obviously, as you can imagine, but this one is going to stink for the only one reason. I get out of it every single time I get out mid-range in the stock. It's to play the short, and you can rewind the tape. It's to play the short off of the high. You get out, and because I want that pop in at 930, so I have a relatively tight stop. I mean, yeah, it's going to sit there and go to 65 when I'm sitting there. You're shorting like 60, 61. That's not giving it a lot of room. But the intention is to try to grab something in that 70 range. I don't get it. It then even consolidates lower. Now it just broke the low. So it's a bit of pie in my face with DYNT. Not much you can do about it here, but I did miss out on that one. If it gives me another shot back at 65s or maybe the low 70s off that high, we'll take it, but the market doesn't always give you a second chance. Brendan?
Right, you guys saw him ring the bell. I am absolutely thrilled to announce, guys, that there is a brand new show on this channel coming today at 11 a.m. Join Trader Prad and Miss V as well at 11 a.m. for Memes and Movers. This is going to be a daily occurrence on this channel, guys. You asked for it for so long, so we're bringing it to you. We expanded the afternoon show. Now we're expanding into the midday as well. So make sure you stick around at 11 a.m. Going to be a bit of a test run today. We'll do 30 minutes, maybe an hour, but the idea is to eventually, guys, expand throughout the entire session. So we're absolutely thrilled to have Trader Prad as a part of the Trader TV family. Come by 11 a.m. today for Memes and Movers, guys.
Yes,
Absolutely,
sir.
guys.
Yeah, big shout out to Trader Prad there. He's been taught by the best, so by Neil, and then we will, be supporting Prad throughout, and you're going to get to see more Miss V. It's more memes, it's more movers, and you're just going to get pushed straight over into that chat. So you're going to get pushed over to the channel. So it's going to be a very, very big, happy, fun family day with Trader Prad. So we're super, super jacked up about that one. Congratulations to Trader Prad for getting this one live, and you'll like him. So don't worry about that. We'll be here as well to take you through everything. So Trader Prad, going to be a big show, memes and movers. AMC, it may test the bottom again. We're going to wait for that 35 break. So that's why we cleaned out there. Like, look, up all these upside moves. Again, AMC was up that 10%. Now we're back down to 6. So let's see. It just had a nice run there. The volumes kept high so far. This is a 3-minute chart, so we'll put that back down to 1 minute so you can see some of these moves maybe a little bit better. But the volumes remained pretty high. Here's our latest buy. Tick, 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 boom. All the way to the upside. So we're really happy with this chart here on AMC. Let's see if we can't keep going. And then Smile Direct, man. I mean, I'm smiling all the way to the bank with this one. We'll hold this one and see how far it can go down, guys. What's up? Oh, keep going? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're just looking right now. You know what? Let's check out GME quickly here if we can. GameStop, that was a name that we always like to look at, pre-market, post-market, everything. So let's have a quick look here at GameStop. Look at this. Have you ever seen this? This is crazy. Just barcode, barcode, barcode all the way here on GME. Then you have a downward move of 162 and change. So GME not really following the AMC trends today. And we talked about why. That didn't even make sense to me in the first place. But there we go. GameStop right now, Brett and Kivit.
XL Fleet, guys, just popping up here. Nice move today, 7.2%. Just going to double check on this. I did see a Goldman Sachs upgrade for XL Fleet today, but 7% here for XL.
Yes, sir. What a day this is, man. I'm long XL Fleet in the 6s as well. Like, Brendan, just keep giving the good news, my friend, as this stock bumping upside. So again, there's only a few names that we're excited about in the EV space. It's Fisker, it's Ford, it's GM, and then it's XL Fleet. We own this one too. I can't believe, you're going to think like I own every stock, but I don't. Just super, super happy with this XL Fleet news. Thank you, Brendan. That puts a nice little smile on my face, as does this. Hit him, V.
Hey Sean, Apple is moving. Stock is up more than 1%. Do you guys see any opportunities in Apple today?
Apple, yeah, no, I never really heard of that stock, but we'll double check it. We just say it was AAPL. Of course, we are just kidding. 147 and change to the upside. Our charts aren't the greatest on Apple because we do have that split still. Whoa, hello. Yeah, Apple, nice little moves to the upside today, taking out some levels. So if you ever see me look like over here or other spots throughout the day, it's because I'm looking at a different set of charts. Maybe you can show this side, guys, if you want. And we can see, yeah, so over here, I do have some 13 charts, but some different periods over here, including a 20-minute. So when you're going to look at Apple right now, I like it for a longer term. You get the 20-minute, it'll give you about a week so of data, depending on how you have your chart set up, of course. But I really like the way this is going to look out here for AAPL. So 148. I'm not interested, Valeria, until we break above 148, but I'm willing to buy any dips back to 146.50. So good move on Apple today. Wow. I mean, this is the name to be bought and held, not necessarily traded. Man, do I love me some Apple.
You gotta absolutely be all over it. At the end of the day, like, everything is not necessarily gonna be like, the sexy day trade out there. Go back to Smile Direct Club. It is gonna be a sexy day trade, but I mean, there's probably only one direction that you could successfully have traded it today. Unless you bought the bounce off of like $5 the first time, which, you know what, that's not a bad trade. Like, if you were sitting around, you can only go long, and you see that big bid at 5, it's not that bad. The break at 5 was able to scalp someone at 93, and now it's catching a bit of a bid again, but the trend is clearly to the downside. I'd fade even 515. I mean, average price will say 508 only because I have some from 50s as well, but I'd fade 515 as well here, guys. And ZEV, we said be patient, be patient. Here it comes again. So we're able to get someone at 960, said, I'll take more shares at 960 because you don't want to mess around with this thing too much. And it is making another run at that 1050 range. I think if it breaks 1050, you can obviously guess it's going to be a bit of a breakout. We went over this already. I don't know why it's not loading up, but 1050 going to be a big level. And of course, that's still on ZEV or Smile Direct for whatever reason. But ZEV, 1050 is a reversal for me. That means any short that I add to this, it's got to be between 40 and 50. I want a very, very good price if I'm adding to this short. At this point, not messing around with the $10 level, not messing around with the quarters, only taking it off the top and off the top only. That DYNT, we did say we missed it. Yeah, you're right. 100% miss. It's still consolidating off the low. I'm giving it a chance to pop. If it pops, I'm going to try to get back into this one to the south side of the trade. And as far as Plug Power goes, oops, this is still on DYNT for some reason. There we go. Plug Power, it does not even catch a bid. So we talked about getting out at the top with the reversal. I said it was looking like it was weak off that 30 break. I wanted to get out of it. It couldn't take out that 30 and a quarter. That's one of the things we talked about for a failed break. I mean, it goes up there, tests that quarter, and on a dime, the top print is actually 30.24.8. So there was dark pools basically sitting in the midpoint in front of that 25 that were holding it there. And then, of course, you get that reversal after a couple of tests. It's still above pre-market lows, so it's now made a bottom off of this 29 level. If it retests lower like 29.10, then I will get back into Plug Power. So not all said and done here with Plug Power. And one from our afternoon show yesterday. Come on, Vaxart. Yeah, Vaxart, it was a $10 key level. This is what happened in Vaxart yesterday. We had the short off at 10. It was a good one, but only got you to about 9.75 for a scalp trade. We're still looking at, whoa, bye-bye ZEV. Sorry. ZEV just broke that 1050, so obviously I have to get over to that, manage the trade, and able to pop. So I just talked about why I wanted to get some out at 965, and then 965 here, and 1050 was going to be a break. This is what we meant in ZEV. Went to the long side, got 57. It's now breaking 11. I can go ahead and take a 50-cent winner. Already scalped now. It's about the halt. I'm holding through this halt because I've already taken 25% off, or 75% off. So let's hold on to ZEV long. It was a great long off a 10 break. It was then a great short reversal, then got the bottom multiple times, got the top of this move here at 930, then got this bottom out. We'll take a small hit for the rest of the shares, reversing through 1050, and now it's halted to the upside, 60 pennies in the money. ZEV, I don't even know the name of the company for crying out loud, but it's been a good one.
Yeah, good back and forth
What
there
is
with
the name
ZEV. Okay, so I'm still dancing with the devil here on AMC. It does come all the way back to VWAP, and we watched it do that and didn't get any out. We're long at 35.40. That was an 80-cent winner there that we didn't take, just thinking that this had more legs to go if we did crack that VWAP. It didn't last time. I mean, look, we've tested it all the way, man. And then this last time we broke it. I sort of thought something was going to happen again, and we do have some orders here at 36.50. So if that does pop through, then we will take some more AMC out. If that can happen, I don't know if that's on track right now for that. We did get out, so just an FYI here, we did get out of our Palantir trade. So we'll see where that one goes, but we are out of Palantir now. It did come back there, right there. So it came back in and almost put us into flat territory there on the trail. Oh, actually, it did. It basically tested 23. We didn't reload. I was a little nervous about the NASDAQ. We had pretty much all longs besides SDC, so we did get out of it. That seems to be a little bit of a mistake, but a nice win regardless today on Palantir. And remember, I don't want to make the same mistake. We're in the money 50 cents here on AMC. I may just take a piece now, again, in this area, and then see what we're going to do. But AMC still hoping that we can at least get back to VWAP there to make something happen with this name. So we're waiting for AMC to do something. Snapchat back to 52-week highs. Oil's starting to go as well now. So a lot of these equities starting to rip. We could check out on XOM. I'm still short this one into the fall, so we'll wait to see. Come on, XOM. I'll wait to see. Okay, good. Now 57, so this one's not really ripping at all. We're still short this one into the fall, so hopefully oil can come back down a little bit. I believe that that is where it's going. So we'll wait to see on oil. But that is XOM and some oil. Snapchat, $79.
Nice job, Snapchat. I was actually looking back at, and Kathy bought some Pinterest, and what I was saying was, well, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, getting out of Pinterest at like 70 in the 70s would have made a heck of a lot more sense. Come on, daily chart, don't do it to me. Anyways, we'll go to the 15-minute here just so you can see Pinterest under pressure once again. And I was like, shift your money from Pinterest over into Snapchat. It is what I did, but it was definitely too late. So you can't sit there celebrating when the pie was like, the writing was on the wall that there was going to be a bad print for them. So I love the fact that Snapchat's going up, but Pinterest actually on some key levels. Every now and then you get with these stocks, like this is a bit ridiculous. I mean, look at the last 3 sessions. I mean, can you tell where the resistance is at 59.5? Can you tell where the support is at 57? Like, give me a break. At the penny, 57.80 twice, 2 days in a row is going to be the bottom, and you get this sort of triple top there. So, I mean, I don't always look at Pinterest for the day trade. Maybe should start adding it because those are some pretty obvious levels that have played out pretty well here in Pinterest. Already 10 o'clock, guys. It's been a quick one, but we'll go into Brennan for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at how things stand. North American markets here, positive territory, basically right across the board. 0.2 for the S&P leading the way at this point, along with the Nasdaq here, both the composite and the 100 about 0.2 to the upside. Same story for the Dow, 0.17 at this point. The Russell small cap not really doing anything. It is negative on the day, but showing a little underlying strength overall. 0.36 for the TSX here in Toronto, back in positive territory. Let's have a look at a few things we were discussing in the pre-market. Tesla, yeah, that's China number a little bit negative, down overall month over month as well. So it was showing its face here a little bit in the pre-market, a little bit of relative negativity for Tesla today. Day lows, in fact, 1.2% to the downside. We'll shift over one more time here and have a look at Triple D, because basically the exact opposite. So strong after earnings for 3D Systems, guys. Day highs currently. Back over to you.
I knew I forgot something. 3D Systems, of course, that one's moving. Look, it's Plug Power. I am going to have missed out on the first opportunity in 29 tested. The second time I said I'll let it come back in. It's now trying to bounce off of 29. So one of the things about being patient is I want to see the strength first. I want to see it bounce off this. There's not actually a big bid here. You're talking maybe like 50, 60,000 shares tops at 29 even. But I wanted to see it put in that strength before even considering going long. Look at it, just chewed through that level. So, whoa, refresher. Oh, so that refreshed a little bit here. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if we can't. I'd much rather this break, it's sort of up this cluster here, like 29, 10, 15, show a little pep in its step and then risk about 15 to 20 cents, as opposed to just having to go like 1 or 2 cents above that 29 level. But there is a bit of a battle being waged here. I'll jump in now. And again, like you're saying, like why would you go long at like 0910 instead of like 2903? It's just because I want to actually see buying step in. ZEV opens back up. Looks like it's going to be heading back into the downside here. Now, obviously, this one was hold on for the, oops, that's ZEV, Neil. This one was going to be trying to hit the home run on the second half of the trade, or the last quarter of the trade, because we've already banked that profit. So we'll see what happens. It's trying to hold above that 11.15. I'm long on a 10.50 break. So if it breaks back to break even, then I'm probably going to have to get out of this one. I wanted to give it a chance to run. It got up to 11.40, which is really not a heck of a lot, and then started a bit of a reversal. So if it holds this 10.50 level, decent chance we can take out the top. If we take out the top and halt again, I would 100% just get out on the reopen trip. But ZEV still trying to sort itself out here. I do think it has a chance to go, but running out of time here, my stop will be right back at that same 10.50 level.
All right. Just looking, yeah, Fisker. Okay, just looking at the account. Yeah, I got to get rid of some DraftKings here. Yeah, I'm long at 35.20 on DKNG. I just wanted to double check the price there. So DraftKings 35.20 is my price, and now we're getting 35.23. We're getting ready to maybe unload some of this, and that was a great news that Brendan brought to us when DraftKings was pumping today, man, all the way up to 54 again for DraftKings. So, you know, again, not to talk about being too greedy. You may want to take some out. I think I will do that here on DKNG, as it's been a nice run, man. Up to 55 again. Could we keep going? Maybe. I won't empty out the whole position, but I think you got to take out half or something like that anyways, like we did on our friend AMD the other day. So that was a good trade. We'll wait to see on that one. And then Palantir, I just looked again. Maybe time to reload some Palantir love as well on that name, because that's coming back to the downside again, breaking through 23. So we like that name for Palantir. We'll see where it goes from here, but I mean, I don't mind it. We'll just have to see if it wants to retest some of these levels before earnings, which is coming right up. So I do want to get long. Like, as I said, I'll try to buy some here, like 22, 21, something like that. If it pulls back, there's only a couple days until earnings, so I don't think that that's necessarily super likely, but we will wait to see if that can happen there on Palantir. And then guys, while we were gone there, well, sorry, not while we were gone, while Neil was speaking, AMC, it does exactly the move that we thought. Did it go to 36.60 there? Hold on a second. I got to check on eSignal here if that happened. Yes, it did. So it does go to 36.60 there. So that is a real high, the same high as that. So now we have a little bit of an out. So now I have a target for the next time that bump happens. Remember what we talked about? We wanted to take that bump right there. Once we broke through VWAP, we said that we wanted to be part of any of these spikes. So that's exactly what we did. Now we'll try to do the same thing again, put an order at 36.50. And just to start it, here goes Palantir. So we take a 90 bid right there. Let's see if we can run this back. Another 5 cents here for Palantir, guys.
So I won't bang the table because I kind of see what's going on. We switched, as Sean mentioned, the desk has been switched around, and the way this little like desktop thing happens, if I shake it, my camera shakes a little bit here because I think my screens are tight. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to bang the table anymore, so hopefully my camera doesn't shake on you guys. But ZEV, I just mentioned that we're trying to hold out for a potential break. It broke 1150, I should say. Sorry, 1050 was the original break. It broke 1150 like 3 separate times, all in a 1-minute candle, and then it would come up, and we talk about this setup over and over again in a breakout. Bid doesn't follow. It would get up to like 1157, another time to 1167, and the third time about to 1161, and each time the bid was stalling out just barely above that 1150 and then retracing. So I got out at 1150. Maybe it still goes. Obviously, this is a pretty strong stock, but that's where I'm going to be taking profit, not looking a gift horse in the mouth. That's where, like, you know, the horse would be doing the thing right now if I had the graphic, but I don't, so I can't, unfortunately, but we'll get that one to you. Plug does not work, however, so you don't want to give it all back. But I got an accidental buy. This is an accidental short at the pre-market low of the day. I just got out flat. Like, I didn't want the position. I actually had the stop in from when I thought I was going to be taking a dip buy in front of the low of the day. I actually had a stop on plug. So I took a 1 penny. I actually didn't pay the spread. It got out flat. That's pretty good. But anyways, that long at 29.10. We'll take the 20-cent hit there. Looks like the only trade was the one off of the open buying the dip. Plug, I might revisit it in the afternoon, but if it's done, it's done. I got no problem with that. Smile Direct Club continues to hold the low. It did spike up. I kind of wanted teens here. It spiked up to 508. I probably should have just got more shares in at 508, 507. I was kind of thinking about 510 to 515. Sometimes you get a little bit too greedy or too picky, and you miss adding to that position. Moderna continues to fall. So, you know, we go over the levels and we talk about these things. We said this one in the afternoon show. 500 was going to be the level to look at. It even gave you the 930 rollover, but I can tell you, like, ZEV was just as good of a setup. The follow-through just happened to be better on Moderna, so I don't mind. Obviously, ZEV even gave you the reversals, and we were trading long and short both directions. There's no way in Moderna that I'm ever going like pre-market long to short like 4 times and trading a halt. It's not going to happen in Moderna. That's the advantage of trading something like a ZEV. Lightning E-motors, I should say, for the first time. But Moderna definitely heading back into the downside. We did talk about some levels, at least where there could be support. It kind of stands out like a sore thumb, 455 to 460. If it gets there, maybe it catches a bid.
Okay, so Fisker came all the way back, guys. I mean, this is why I said, like, when it was up to 19, wish I could just log in and get out of my position. But we'll still see. I still think it has a chance to go. We're still holding this, so we'll see here on Fisker and where we want to go from here. Hopefully, nothing but love to the upside for you, FSR, and we'll see if that happens. So whether or not it does is still to be seen here, but I don't mind a Fisker pickup there. Thanks for bringing us Apple. Apple has fallen back down a little bit here. I mean, as has the NASDAQ, right? So if you do want to pick up any strong names, obviously we do recommend, I do recommend Apple, but it's coming back here to view up. Let's check out my favorite tech name here as Microsoft. Ooh, nice, 289 again. So nice little move upside. Nice little move upside for them today. I think this is close. So it's, what is it, 294-ish? Yeah, 290, yeah, 292, 293, almost 294 is the all-time high here for Microsoft, as a lot of these tech names have still remained up pretty high. So I definitely like the way that these stocks are trading right here in the tech space, including my Facebook, which the last buy was, yes, 351. So that's a nice little rip to the upside as well. What's up, Brendo?
Vuzix, guys, definitely not up today, down big time, 15%, pushing 16%. It was lower than this already off earnings. Vuzi was a one-time high flyer, got up to 32 if you remember back a couple of months ago. We're back to $12 here for Vuzix off earnings.
Luis Valencia, yeah, you can get a shout out. Why not? Shout out to Luis Valencia. If you ask for a shout out, why not? No problems there. Miss V just getting that one to us, of course. And look, I'm kind of excited for this show that's going to be coming, Memes and Movers. Prad's been working pretty hard. Miss V is all over it. She's pretty excited. You guys should see the smile on her face when we even bring up the show. So she's excited to get on the camera more for you guys. And this FULC. I'm not gonna give this one a nickname because I kind of feel like I'll mess it up, and then next thing you know, I'll run afoul of whatever it is at YouTube when they're like bleeping stuff out or how they handle with it. Anyways, FULC halted at 1393, actually failed broke. When it reopened through that same 14 even, it even has a high at 1460. I kind of like this one for a short setup off of that fresh high, not fresh high, that 14 halt price. And then if it breaks that, you kind of look back towards that 14. It's not 1465 for a top break. But I like the fact that it halted up and then gives you sort of a defined area for a trade. I prefer it in the 60 range if I can get it, but I might have to dip my toes in below this 50 level just because it's not doing a heck of a lot of volume. So I'll dig a little bit here at 1048, and then if I get more shares, it'd probably be in the 70 to 80 range just to make sure the risk to reward works. But FULCK looks like it might be pulling back in, and of course, ZEV now continuing its breakout. So it shook me out for, whatever. You take a dollar win on it after looking good shorts for 70 to 80 cents to making almost dollar wins on that stock. If it continues to run, I'm looking for the next halt on a ZEV. I would definitely get involved in another halt trade on ZEV. Now breaking $12. That stock is going crazy.
This stock is nuts, man. Yeah, good look on that one for damn sure. ZEV, wow. Being dreams made of that stock there as it keeps on going to the upside, ZEV. So, just make sure, like I said, this is light volume. I talked about this when Scott Bradley was on, just after he was on. Thank you, Scott, for coming on from the LSC to talk about that market. But no matter what you're looking at, I really think you got to trade stock that's moving, right? And I think Neil and I do a good job of that. That's why our watch list to me is so important for everybody. Just make sure you get it, watchlist.tradertv.live. And that's why I work for you guys every single day with this sticky note, trying to find stocks that are moving, trying to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So thank you for continuing to support everything that we do here. That's why we do it. And that's why we're bringing you that next show. I'd hit a button, bang, right now for Palantir because that does go all the way back in. But all we're doing here, look at this. This is how we trade Palantir, man. It's not a super aggressive name by any stretch of the imagination. So that's why yesterday caught me off guard just a little bit there on that move for Palantir. So we're buying some dips in here today, and it's been working out pretty damn good for us so far. So good moves here. There's the dip, bang, upside, protect that 23, take it out on momentum, and then right here, 20, 40, 60, now holding a little bit in case we do get back into this area, 2310-ish or so for Palantir. So we'll wait to see 2310. We'll probably take something out right here, 2304.05 if we can get there. Hey, man, that's another 15 cents. We'll just keep putting that in our pipe and go along with that. So that should be a good one for us. And then AMC, honestly, I want this thing to go. I do. But I got to get out again, man. If it comes to 36.50, we've played this like a fiddle here off this downward move. So that's how you know, you got shares, bang, 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 bang. We're able to take this out a bunch of different times. So that's how I trade. I hope you enjoy it so far today. But 36.50, trying to make money moves back upside with AMC. Let's go. Northbound AMC. I actually might not even, you know what? I'm going to let this thing go. I'm not going to put an offer here. Let's see AMC 37.25, right in the middle of this teeth. Right here is where we're going to put our offer. 37. Actually, let's go 37.19. Let's go 37.19. Let's go a dollar higher right now for AMC. So that's where I'm predicting this thing going.
But that's the thing, you take some of those profits because that allows you to hold on. But I'll tell you right now, if you don't take profits when you run in the money on some of these day trades or scalp trades or whatever they are, then all of those profits will get lost. And they'll be just like Tears in the Rain. And if you can actually understand just like Tears in the Rain, if you guys get that reference, then I'll be hell of impressed. FULC, the Fulcrum stock, just made the break, and we talked about having a stop at 14 even. Why? Because 1465 was another top. Now going long on a break of that 1465 level. Let's see if it continues to the upside. We already saw ZEV do this. ZEV do this. Now I want to see if Fulcrum can do it, but it immediately rejects it and then tries to hold this 14 level. So I'll buy a dip. 14 was the out on the short. 14's got to be the out in the long as well. Was that Brendan?
The trade desk, guys, we were mentioning it yesterday. TTD off earnings as well. Blowout report for them. Recent highs here, obviously above 90 on big volume there, 10% for TTD.
Yeah, that's another good advertising play there. Should have got into that one off of that Google. Google is my number one holding, and they absolutely destroyed everybody on their earnings. So Google with some nice plays there, but TTD also very, very nice. So we'll wait to see. I guess I can cancel that order. Okay, let's go. Come on. So good for a spread today, 4.6 million shares. So let's not sleep on the trade desk today. Nicely moving to the upside. You just said it was... Okay. Oh yeah. I guess obviously in here, I wonder what that split was. 590 down to 70. Okay. So I don't know, 5 to 1 or so there, split for TTD. So I'll trust Brendan that this is at all-time highs. Obviously here, breaking through 90, 91 or so. So yeah, you get a 90 break. Let's go long on TTD. Love this name for lots of reasons. An advertising play. We'll see the trade desk going upside here. We'll see if that can continue, man. Good call, Brendan.
An iceberg on FULCK. I mean, for now at that 14 level, so I'll get a few more shares back in, but I don't want this to break too far. If it breaks 85, we'll be out. Be 0 for 2 on this name, so giving back some of what we made on that ZEV, which, by the way, just rejected 12 even. So I hate looking at some these kinds of names simultaneously. I would much rather FULC I guess, resolve itself, but ZEV is too hard to ignore here. This is now 3 tests, at least 2 tests at that 12 even range. It's primed for a bit of a breakout. I have a hard stop on that FULCK, which I don't always love. Sometimes you go manual, but I'm going hard stop with it because I want my attention over here on ZEV as it tries to take out 12 again. If this breaks 12, and then cannot get through 25 this time, you could see a bit of a reversal on ZEV. It has not done a big pullback since it had that break at 1050, despite the fact that I got out there. That looked like, for all intents and purposes, it was a reversal. I mean, you can talk about chart candles all you want, but that looked like a reversal. That's why I got it at 1140. Still heading to the upside, but failing here at 12 even. And this one's been the easier one to trade, but Folk might not be done.
Yeah, that TTD all-time high 96, split adjusted all-time high 96. So recent highs, like Brendan was mentioning there, for the trade desk, and 89 and change. So a nice little rip to the upside there. 10%. I mean, can it still go? I think it can. You can protect it down here. So I like this trade, man. And we're going to take this break, 89.65 on TTD right now. So that should be a good one. We'll look to make that trade if we can, if it comes through. So 89.65 there. AMC, man, like I said it was going to go, I mean, again, that crystal ball of mine sometimes does fail, but we thought AMC was going to go to the upside, but instead it's retesting these lows. So let's buy some more down here. I think this is a good opportunity for AMC. Just make sure that we still have our stop order in, which we do. So AMC right back to the downside. Fisker also right now back in a little bit. We talked about that play and why we did like that. So we'll see if Fisker can keep going back to 19. I want to keep defending these areas down here. We're still long. So we'll see if that can work. I think it can. We'll see if that can play itself out. That's Fisker right now. So I don't mind that play, but good thing we did get that out there off some of that euphoria that was the open. So Fisker right now trying to make moves. I don't mind it, but it still needs to go more to the upside. I'm not getting anything out until we're above VWAP, so 1880 or so on FSR. We are ready right now to go over to Brendan for small cap recap. I think it was a pretty good one today, Brenda.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Definitely a slow one today if you are looking at any of these that were kind of moving around in the pre-market. IMV, we discussed a couple of times here, still 22%, did break to the downside. If you go to the daily chart here, 220 to 250 is a pretty defined range. So you can, if you zoom into what happened in the pre-market here, you can see 220 breaks to the downside, gives you a pretty obvious level here. It's struggling at 2. A lot of these you're going to see volume kind of dying off already. So overall, the moves might have happened already, but watch 220 and then 250 for IMV. Let's go over to the next one here and have a look at the same thing. Really got to fix this switcher here for us, but a couple of other ones to discuss as well, guys.
I'm going to tell you, I'm kicking myself for doing 2 at once. And I always say this, when you're trading some of these, like, I guess we'll call them hold stocks. Usually it's 1 at a time. I try to do 2 at a time, and it's like, wick myself out. I go hard stop on FULC when usually I would basically be like an area stop and manually trade it on that trade. And then I get stopped out, and it's, the long still looks like it could be good here off of that 14 level. And then, of course, I miss ZEV. I'm saying, got to get over to ZEV. It's failing off of that 12. I don't catch it. It's already down like about 70, 80 cents here. But it did... This is the post-halt bottom here at 1080, so it still has a chance to maybe hold up at that range, maybe check it up, then test back to the upside. If it were to do that, and I get a second shot of that 12 even, then I would jump back at it. But that's the reason. We talk about the opportunity cost of trying to do 2 things at once. That's the opportunity cost, missing out on that ZEV, and I say it time and time again. When stocks start getting into that halt range, and they're those crazy movers, it's like focus on that one. So I did it for ZEV, and it worked. And the second I try that FULC, that's where I miss out on this trade, and then bungle that long there on FULC. Not too happy with it, but it's going to happen to all of us, and well, most of us most of the time. Plug Power, look, it's fine. It broke the bottom. I didn't get back into this. Once it broke that low of the day, I was going to be gone. But it's still, to me, in a bit of a downward trend after the breakout. So how many times have you seen breakout at the open, failed break to a key level, that's 30 even that it broke through, and then retrace to the downside? It kind of tricks you into these bids. Overall, I think it's pretty solid trying to make that breakout, but it cannot get out of its own way. It can't seem to follow through. This needs to close above 30, I think, before it really starts to get going. Not impossible that it happens, but it's got some work to do in today's action for sure. And the one that was in trouble all morning, and when I say in trouble all morning, I mean the stock is in trouble all morning, has been Smile Direct. It's now finally back up to VWAP, but last time, I waited for 15s. It's back up at this like 8-9 range, so I'll go ahead and take some here if I can get it at 10. If this were to break past 525, I'd be done with this trade. Well, probably done with it until it got to 550 anyways, but like I said, having a hard stop on this FULC instead of an area one, this is what happens. I'm able to scalp some out there at 430s. And then I have a hard stop that gets taken out. I could have seen it reject, offer not follow through, and it's still consolidating above that halt price, which is at 1393. So, I mean, I'm not going to jump back into it because I like ZEV and I want to focus on that stock, but that's what I'm sort of getting at. With these, a lot of times you don't want to get wicked in and out. If you like to trade, it still has a chance to break to the upside. If it takes out 14, I call it 1450, if you're trading this name, be cautious. If it took out 1450 and then took out 15 successively, you're probably staring a potential halt in the face. It only has to move like $1.50 too far, too fast before it would do that again. Brendo.
I just saw some of the crypto names moving back to the downside, so heads up. Bitcoin not really doing much. It is lower, but only just. MVST, guys, day highs here on volume once again for this one. Recent mover, 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row now for MVST.
Okay, someone brought that to our attention a while ago. Good call, MVST for somebody there. Our average price 51s now on AMC. So there we go. We just took some out 65s. So a nice win. Now our average price is averaging down, but we were just 51. So now we're at 55 AMC. We're defending this 35. Let's see if it can run again back to VWAP. Now we can take out VWAP. So if that happens, we do have an order right there. So we'll see if we can get out. We don't have an order there, but we will. 36.15. 30, I mean, even 36 even at this point for another 40 cents should be a good trade for us with AMC. So, hey, man, we'll just keep on rolling here with this big bad stock today. Volume not crazy, though. 37 million. Higher than average, obviously, as we have earnings central right now for AMC. But hopefully this name can continue to go. We will put an order right there. I mean, I might as well do it right now. If we can get 36, I mean, let's go 35.99. Why not? Let's get a little greedy as we get closer to 36 here. So 35.99 for another 40 cents. Hopefully we can put that in our pipe and smoke it once again. That is going to be AMC. And then just so you guys know, Palantir, like we were trying for 05s, but every single time, man, it stopped at 23 even. So now we're almost out. We got out of 60% of this trade, or 70%, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% of this trade out now for Palantir. So let's wait to see now if we can go higher. I'm pretty happy just scalping this thing, so no complaints for me, but wouldn't mind getting this thing a little bit higher back into 23 and change as, come on, AMC. Couple more pushes here, and then we can take a little bit of a win on this one. We're still long 54. I mean, it's 30 cents. Well, was 30 cents there. Now it's come back in, but 15 cents now in the money. Let's see if AMC can't go even higher than this, guys.
You win the day, Dan McIsaac. You FULC-ing missed it. Yeah, I did. I talked about, that's why I was candid about it here. Look, I traded both. I went to look at both at the same time, and I got 2 level 2s here, one in FULC and one in ZEV, and I'm trying to work into a short on ZEV at the same time trying to manage the long on FULC. And the thing is, if you go manual on this and it breaks like 1390, like you could be staring 13 in the face like that, right? So it is a bit of a tricky trade. That's why sometimes focusing on one at a time. You'll see that it broke up. Oddly enough, it barely resisted. Like, when it made this move here, it barely resisted halting at that 1550. So it kind of felt like it got up towards that halt band and then made a harsh little bit of a pullback there. So still going to the upside, but ZEV is coming down. It's on the New York. I never got the chance to get that bit of a pop. It didn't consolidate. Well, it is consolidating, but it didn't break back up to be able to short the pop on ZEV. It's still above that halt low at 1080, but if that gets taken out, you're working back to probably 10 even, where this consolidation then break at the 1050 level happens. So I'm still looking at this one in particular. It looks pretty good. I would have traded FULC. If it does a halt, I'll get back into that one, but I'll play that one for halts. I'll play ZEV to try and be a little bit more active. And then just to go back to a name from earlier in the session, that DYNT, I mean, I can say maybe missed the boat on it, but it had more to do with the fact there were other names making moves at 9:30. Of course, Maldirect was pretty good, and then we're trading all those a little bit more heavily and a little more actively. And then this is continuing its rollover. It's worth it probably for a pop into VWAP back in that 156 to 159 range from before, but I'm not going to chase this one at all. And Jude, IC NVAX, I'm not with you yet, but I am looking at her.
Okay, yeah, I just want to give everyone a heads up. Like that's the thing. Like Neil and I have been doing this for many years, right? And if you find that having too many positions at once is like affecting you being able to make keystrokes and stuff like that, then just focus on the best ideas that you believe are the best, right? I mean, I know it's hard to be in and out of all of these trades with us all the time, but if there's a couple names that you like if you like that DYNT, then you could stay in that, right? You don't have to look at all these other names. It takes one trade, right, in order for you to make your day. So just stay focused on what you're doing. Don't worry about everything that we're doing a lot of the times, obviously. And, we have a lightning fast software here, a great system, and just, the right environment to sort of scalp back and forth. And that may not be the case for everyone. And that will stop you from bungling trades like that, right? And I just think that you need to really focus on what you're doing. So that's that. Just like I'm sitting here on AMC, right? I mean, I don't know if this, I still have this target down here at 35. I'm watching this so that I can focus on this right now. Brendan, quickly, what up, bud?
Just going to mention Workday, guys. Back to break even here. They announced this morning partnership with Google Cloud that's going to help out healthcare, financial, and retail industries. So WD was up significantly in the pre-market, but all the way back to where we were yesterday.
Kind of looks like that pullback looks like the chart of the really real, which is getting beat up today. Interesting, kind of an interesting about the real, or whatever, the really real, whatever you want to happen to call them. If you look, they got beat up. It was actually not the best earnings for them. But a couple of things that are, if this thing ever finds a bottom, and it's actually getting to this 13 low that it had recently, if this thing ever finds a bottom and bounces to the upside, they have some debt that's convertible to shares at like 1777 and like a 30% short interest. So if it ever caught a bid, you'd watch for a break at that 1777. The last time a stock had something remotely similar to that, and a trader was like literally talking about it like every single day, and I wasn't really paying enough attention to him, was Tesla through 360 the first time, and they had some it was just, you could look it up on a chart, like exactly when this got bought, when Tesla went out parabolic, about that 360 level the first time, and it was a very similar setup. It was more gamma squeeze than pure short squeeze, but really real if they ever caught a bid. And I'm telling you right now, they're nowhere close to catching a bid, so don't get too frisky on this name, but watch out for 1777. You watch out for this one catching a bid. It's got some short interest. I kind of thought like if that actually had good earnings, which they clearly didn't here today, there'd be an actionable trade. You could have beaten up on this one like Smile Direct and would have been fantastic too. That FULC is continuing its run to the upside. No halt in sight, but it is consolidating off the top, so it stalled out at a 1550. The break last time was no good, so I'm going to stay away from this unless it does halt. And ZEV, for those of you looking to catch a bid, I keep typing NASDAQ. I know it's a New York stock. It happens. But if it breaks this halt low, I guess post-halt low at 1080, I should say, you probably have runway down to 10 even. I would take a momentum short through there, looking to scalp it out first to VWAP and then to that level down at like 10 even. But it is a nice consolidation. It's trying to hold up. I'd only short it if it broke the bottom, though. I needed to break that 1080, which it hasn't obviously yet.
Hey guys, thank you for all the nice comments about what I was saying there. But that's just, I really do mean that. You got to watch, the stocks that you're looking at. And like there's AMC breaking, right? So AMC breaks to the downside there through 35. So, hey, we'll flush ourselves down the toilet on that one. But it's not, the hit on this could have been disastrous if we weren't able to scalp some of these out, right? So again, we take one last shot there, we get it out a little bit, then it just resists to the downside, to the upside, and then downside comes. So that was, I'm out of that name, AMC. I still like it for a long. We just got to find some different levels. It's already 10:30, but Brendan's got something else. What's up, bud?
All right. It's 10:30. If you miss it the first time, stick around. In a half an hour, 30 minutes, the very, very first inaugural episode of Memes and Movers coming your way right here on this channel. We're going to do it every single day. Trader Prad is in the building, standing by, going to hang out with you guys right through to lunchtime today, we hope. So we'll touch in with Trader Prad coming up here at 11. The other part of Memes and Movers right here, right now for you. Hi, Miss V. She's very excited about this. What's up in Europe today?
Thank you, Brandon. And right, we are super excited. And guys, please make sure you join our live stream right after this show. And meanwhile, European markets are positive. Earnings remain in focus. HelloFresh trading in Germany is up more than 6% after it posted a strong second quarter growth. Back to you.
I feel like it's going to become the Valeria show very quickly. But yeah, 11 o'clock, guys. Memes and Movers. Don't miss it, starting today.
They're a great team, by the way. I think it's going to be fantastic. I look forward, of course. Look, we're here, so we get to experience the show as well. We'll be sitting right on the floor as we always are. But I got over that ZEV. It is making some moves. We talked about that 1080 breaking, and again, this is just post halt. You usually use that halt price or any sort of significant levels that it makes, and this turned on a dime at 1080, so I like that for a bit of a breakdown. It's immediately heading down into VWAP, so I can't really bang the table. We'll go quick little scalp trade in and out in front of VWAP, and then if it breaks, remember we talked about 10 even, or this level right here, 1025 more particularly, so if it breaks through VWAP, we're looking 1025 for the rest of this trade on ZEV. I said I would go back to this and maybe focus on it a little bit more after bungling that FULC. And I'll try not to actually fall for that pun, but this one's turning back. If you follow the same sort of pattern, you probably look all the way back to 1325, in addition to that 14 area that could be supported in FULC. So it does have some room before it gets to any of those levels, guys. And then, of course, I actually was just saying to Greg in the chat, this is like, I'm kicking myself over this one, because one of the things that actually had started working really well for me, and I definitely broke the rule on this one today, was looking for those like directional trades off the higher time frames on AMD. I said in yesterday's show, and then the afternoon, I guess it was when I talked about it. And then this morning, the same sort of thing. It got into that 107 to 107.20, which was that previous bottom. And then you talk about the top end of that range at like 108 to 109. It gets right in that pocket, and then essentially the idea is to hang on to it till these levels, this 104, 105, and then down to this like 102. And instead, I do that tried and tested nonsense where you're just like, yeah, but look at this here. We can average in at 107.50. And then it's like, yeah, but then if it takes out the previous pre-market low, we'll just get out of it. And it's like, why am I even messing around? Like, that's a trade. Like, you're supposed to just be putting it on and then hanging on to it. It either takes out the top, or you get your $5 and then $7 winner on it. Now AMD's headed to the downside here. We talked about the reasons why, like after it broke that level, a lot of the secondary move to that was a bit of a squeeze play to the upside. And then the key level break happens and the momentum kind of shifts to that 104, 105 range and then down to that 102. Is it there yet? Maybe not, but we're probably done. Unless we pop back in and can get like a reasonable short where it's still momentum to the downside, I'll probably have to sit this one out. But AMD only down 1.5%. Although the ES is still relatively strong due to the NASDAQ, but that just pulled back as well. The NASDAQ's down 0.4, but the ES now looking like it has a chance to follow suit. Wow, the green is going to be put to the test, Miss V, on your new first day for Memes and Movers, and the green shirt's being put to the test. Brendo?
Just seeing this too simple. A little bit of volume just coming in here. It's pretty thin overall, but there was a short report, guys. Grizzly Research out with a short report on TSP. This is pretty close to all-time lows for this one.
I never heard of that name, but thanks for that. Yeah, anything that's near all-time lows, man, look for it to go lower at this point, guys. Snapchat right now, one of the only, I mean, it's down 2%. We will look at that off 80. It makes a new all-time high today of 79 and then fades down. Okay, so we just did get some more Palantir there at 70. Where was I didn't get filled everything, but at 78. So I do have another bid coming up there. It went to 83 there on that buy, but I didn't get the full load. So hopefully we can eventually get some more shares here. It looks like we will as soon as 78 comes through, we will get printed there. Let's go over to Snapchat quickly, though, because it's not a bad stock to trade. I've absolutely ripped this stock on the show lots of times. Not today. It has to be earnings or something, but this is why I like it so much. There's big time moves, and when it goes, man, sometimes it doesn't stop. So right now, Snapchat all the way back to 76 and change. Yeah, just cruising. I told you, made the all-time high today, I guess, of 79.18 mined the pre-market, but all-time closing high, I guess, all-time intraday high, 79.18 today. So that was made, and now it's coming back to the downside a little bit, but still, that's to be expected. I don't think it deserves to be down 1.7%, especially if the NASDAQ does start to rally back to the upside here. So let's look out for Snapchat today. Maybe a nice little rally somewhere past like the 78 mark, if we could find out why it did that. I mean, still down $2 from there, but not a horrible name here at all is Snapchat. And then again, man, we were just waiting for this last 20%. It sucks because, again, whatever. I don't know if I would have taken it out up here anyways. Probably would have taken some out. I'm long 1690 on Fisker. It went all the way to 19 and change. Now we're back to 1785. So we're right back to where we got in. Wow, what a good long that would have been again down there. Maybe it's worth it one more time. I think we'll try it one more time and then use these 1715 or so as bottoms. But hey, if it hasn't gone already, it is making me a little nervous that maybe it doesn't, guys.
That's the thing. Although, look, it's 10:30. Sometimes things take a little bit more time here, and you have to sort of wait around for it. I mean, ZEV might be an example of that. Is it just bounced off of 1050 one more time? I'll probably short a pop at that one if it consolidates 11 to 1125. KXIN. This is another one. This is actually on the watch list. So, and again, you got to find the setups that work for you, the ones that you like. But I always go back, and this is the thing you have to do. You have to take the names that you were looking at or the names that you had to set up for, and whether you traded or not, you've got to go back and sort of review them and make sure that if you missed out on something, you understand why, and if it would have worked, why did I like something else better than KXIN? And I don't have a particularly good reason. This is the gap up. I mean, even that 7 a.m. sort of run into 7 a.m. when retail came in, they just started selling it off, consolidate lower, 930 pop, actually breaks this 340 level and then immediately fails. So that's actually pretty good. Even better that it consolidates off the original same level, and then that's about as clean as it gets. Even like a 320 break or 322 break right here, that also works for you and it runs in the money. So, KXIN looks like it trades pretty well here. Got to be paying a little bit more attention to it next time for sure. AMD now at 105. I kind of can kick myself over that one a little bit, but we didn't talk about Tesla, which was on the watch list, by the way. Tesla 700. We saw Tesla 700 print, or close to it anyway, 701, holding these lows. Now, when we first made the move into the downside, we were looking 98 to 02, so we sort of said was like target range. So it does kind of get into that today. Barely, I would say, definitely barely, but the market's pretty weak to be catching a dip on Tesla. I actually would want to see it test deeper into that range, maybe even test that 98, maybe even test 700 even before jumping in here. I mean, with the ES even pulling back as well, it's not the place that I would look to be testing or catching a bit of a bid here. When look at all the resistance you have on Tesla up at that 725 mark for an entire week, you're basically holding those highs. So to see it pull back in through 700 and maybe take out that 98, it wouldn't surprise me too much on this day. I think you're shooting 680s there if it does want to come back. Smile Direct, we finally do get it. Patience is a virtue. I still have a bid down there. We finally do get it back into that 520 range. This is the first time. We talked about the only long you could have had that would have worked other than 490. It would have been this $5 into 525, so it gets closer into that range. I can now work back into it off of that 525 level. It's barcoding for now, but it's short sell restricted, which means you do either have to wait for an uptick or just sort of get in off the offer, which is what I'm doing in front of 25s. And by the way, oh my God, FULC, 1650? Wow, stock's nuts.
I'm already telling our producer how excited I am for the Prad show, and I think it's going to be fantastic. Memes and movers. It's going to be great with Prad and Valeria. So, guys, definitely after the show, you're going to roll right into that one live on our floor. Prad and Valeria, memes and movers, should be absolutely fantastic. Super excited about it, and that's just the honest truth. So hopefully you guys are all able to tune into that as well. Memes and movers with Prad and Miss V. So that should be a great one there. They've been working really hard on it. So please support that show and let us know how you like it through the chat. We'll be on the chat as well, watching out for that show. So that's really super excited for it. So congratulations to both of them and to everybody here at Trader TV as we look to expand out our offerings to you guys. So that's what we've been doing, filming some videos, doing this and that, as you guys know. Okay, Fisker. So we did take a little bit of a risk there on FSR. I mean, it's not much of a risk. We did take it, and we'll wait to see now where it goes. I still have my stops to the downside here. If we do break below 17.20, we can get out of this one. But I think this is worth the run here for Fisker. But I mean, I can't. There's only so much you could fight here. When the Nasdaq is making these kind of moves here today, straight to the downside, that's going to be a problem, and we continue to break. So not good now. Nasdaq breaking lower. We probably test that 15,000 level there, and you don't need to trade if you don't want to trade. So if you don't find any names right now that you really like, please stay out. All my positions are very, very light right now. And yeah, so it's not a great one. Let's check AMC. Yeah, see, there it is. There's that break, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Trade your book, guys. Like, that was my level. It broke, and I'm out, and the hit is minimal. So there we go, AMC. I've only traded like 4 or 5 names today, trying to keep it real on what names I'm looking at. There's been a lot of opportunities. I've missed that ZEV, that DYNT. I didn't like it unless long. That was not gonna. That's not pairing out good right now either. But that's what that is. We're gonna get some longer on Palantir soon as well. But right now, Brendan, ooh, that board looks pretty nice there. Top left, baby.
Hey guys, yeah, a little bit deceiving once again for the sectors. Overall, the market is actually red. Just though, 0.01 to the downside. Yeah, top left on this side is the retail group today. So a lot of strength coming from anything retail, including some of the travel names on here as well. Cruise lines specifically having a nice day. NCLH here, 3.2, 2.6, 2.5 for RCL. Remember, all of those were down about that much or more yesterday. So bouncing back here nicely for travel names. So this group entirely in positive territory. Far side here, both the material sector and the energy group also having quite the day. Both of these, the entire groups in positive territory, leading the way, in fact, as far as gainers are concerned. There's that Kansas City Southern down here that Neil mentioned, 7.3% increased bid coming for that one today. So leading the way in the transportation group. Some of the airlines back in positive territory here as well, along with the rest of the industrial group. So all of that being offset by healthcare and technology stocks. So big negativity coming from specifically the semiconductor group today. Unusually, over the past couple of weeks anyways, it's been very strong. Micron down 4.6% on the day, leading the way. AMAT here, I mean, all of them about 1.5 to 2, and then Micron standing out there 4.5% to the downside. For the semis, top side there as well, the software makers in negative territory. So healthcare stocks and tech stocks offsetting the entire board today, leaving the market dead flat right now. Back to positive, but only just, guys.
And right now the GOAT will be going across the screen and be like, bah, bah, the Brendan GOAT. Like it's, ZEV just broke down to 1020. I'm still hanging on to that 77 short. So that one works out. Basically the second Brendan opened his mouth, that started breaking back through VWAP. And then the same thing on FULC. This time, patience played off, played off. Patience paid off. That's what I'm getting at here. You wait for, this is a pure parabolic move on an even failed break. So parabolic move into 1650. It breaks 50s, goes to 54, immediately rejects it. Short on consolidation. Just got some out there at 1570 for 40-cent win. I'm not going to be up on FULC. My goodness, I'm getting so close to making that that obvious mistake. Not going to be up on FULC. Most of that had to do with, I think, trying to trade it at the same time as trying to get that ZEV short off of 12 even. So we're going to end up bungling this long. The dip buy would have been good, but the breakout, that was a bungle for sure. If this wants to come back in, I'll take a bunch out in front of this 15.25 to 50 mark. Maybe hang on to some for like 14.50 to 15, but look at that clean upward trend. There's no obvious levels to work off. If there were, maybe I'd be holding back for like the hero trade to 14 even, catching $1.50. I don't know if that's going to be the case. We're trying to make some back here in FULC. That and ZEV have been the big movers. And look, you're going to be jumping over to like Pradmis V, where it's all about what is moving. And that's what you got to do at lunchtime. You got to keep it light. You have to have a lot of fun, which I know you guys are going to be able to do here, and still keep abreast of what is moving. Yes, that's right. I can say fulcrum. Fulcrum is a cool word there. Who's that? Tacit Nova. Tacit Nova. There you go. So ZEV rolling over, Fulcrum rolling over, Smile Direct consolidating, but I mean, it's down 23%. So I guess, you know, the bulls on Smile Direct can't do any celebrating, even though it has bounced 25 cents off the bottom. So there's that if you're long in Smile Direct. Catching a bit of a bid? I don't know.
Yeah, we're definitely not long on that name. We've been short that name the whole way and haven't even traded in or out of it. Well, we traded out of it down here. We let it keep going. We'll see what happens now. I mean, maybe 520, something like that to the high side for Smile Direct. We'll wait on that one. I mean, it comes back down. I only got part filled at 78. Palantir now making a move back to the upside. So I just wish I had more shares there. I need to go back up. So that's why my average price is still 87. So it's not great for Palantir. Wish we had a little more love on that name there, but we don't. We didn't get filled the whole boatload there. So back to flat on Palantir off of this. Like, this is a 90 bid, and that's like, we didn't get our full load. That's why our average price now 87. So if we would have got more shares, that would have been a little higher, obviously, a little lower on our average price. And we probably would have taken some out now, but we have not. So Palantir still to the upside there. I did want to talk a little bit about AMD. I know, Neil, that was a tough one there, but yeah, down to 105 now. It was just such a big move for AMD. And like, this is why we cashed some out here, whoopsies, on this move. Like, I didn't know where it was going to stop. So our first out, we got out here. Then we got out, I'll double check where our next out was. It was either 108 or 112. And then we do have a 119.50 print in our account. So that was a good one. Might be time to reload. But the thing is, I don't mind Marvell either. In this space, I do like, obviously, the semiconductor space. My call for 2010 was, this is a daily range. I mean, you can see Marvell here, beautiful to the upside. The only one really, I mean, I'm not invested in Intel. I'm in AMD, I'm in SMH, and I'm in NVIDIA. So this is the call here, SMH. Oh, it's a NASDAQ stock, that's right, not an AMX. This was the call for the year way back when we thought semis was going to be hot, and I think we were pretty right on that one as well. If you check out where we came from in January here, it's been a good trade for us. And again, I think it was just low 200s or so here. Yeah, right in here. Yeah, 213, 214. So a nice run up to 270 there. That was the call of the year, and I'll be making another one in approximately 4 months.
If you remember Marvell, we talked about that one months ago off with the Infinity deal, and they got a nice little spike off that for sure. And I love it's a great company. Deal making is a little bit trickier now, so they were able to get that one under the wire for them, which is fantastic and a bit of an advantage, I would say. These wicks haven't happened here on. It's kind of weird. These wicks didn't happen to 960 on ZEV. But if you look at where they went down to, these ridiculous dark pool wicks, this is right to that morning level. When we got that pop at 930, everything was getting out here for me, basically best price 55, but mostly in the low 60s. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for at this particular point if it continues to the downside. And it has nothing to do with these dark pool wicks. What essentially happens is you have late reporting, and it's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence whatsoever that if you had a bottom here at 930 on ZEV, right, where there's all kinds of support, even when it looked like it was rolling over, and then this last ditch down into 960 that turned around, is it shocking that there was a bunch of dark pool printing at that price that gets reported later? Just means there was a lot of buying in the dark that supported the stock, and then you get these prints reported to the tape a little bit later on in the session. But we already knew it was support at that price, and that's why I would get out in front of it on ZEV. Probably going to go to like 975 to 980 just to make sure we lock in the profit. It'd be about like $1 winner if we can get it on ZEV. Definitely a better result than on Fulcrum. But again, you have to sometimes just take a step back and go back to the drawing board. A lot of times I would have rushed into this trade, but if it's going to be a parabolic move up resisting, I want it snap short and immediately looking weak, not snap short and then immediately trying to bounce back into the upside. So if this gets into VWAP, we'll make some of it back. But ZEV was clearly the better one for me today. It'll be my top stock, and maybe I should have stuck with that one as the primary. But now Fulcrum, it did give that failed breakthrough 1650. I have 12 to the short side. We're in the money about $1.20 here, and I already said this 1450 level to VWAP is going to be the ultimate target. So I probably won't get more than $1.25, $1.30 on this last short. Well, for now, of course.
All right, 34. Let's see about AMC here quickly because it's all the way down now to 34. So it's not a nice looking day here. I mean, it's still okay, but we were up 10. You guys know that we were up 10%. Now you're back at flat here on AMC, similar to Fisker here as well. Just making moves early. This is a 20-minute chart, so it's going to look a little bit like maybe there was no moves, but there was. And then now just trying to find where is there going to be some support. I don't see much here on a 20-minute. chart, maybe back down to 33 or something. We could talk about down some love for that trade, down to 33 maybe for a long. If we look at even a, if I would take this chart away, if we even look at a 3-minute chart or so on AMD, maybe that, AMC, sorry, maybe that's a daily chart. What am I doing? Cancel that. A 1-minute chart there. We'll change this over to a 3 just to see. I don't think we'll have anything here because it hasn't been here in a while, but okay, actually, sorry, what did I talk about yesterday? 30, where was some nice bottoms here? Yeah, there's that 33 again. So I don't know, guys. Right now we're in a little bit of trouble here for AMC, 33.75 maybe if you're looking for a little bit of a bottom spot there. And by the way, SDC, let's hit it. Big time win for us on SDC today. But now I'm long. So for me, this setup turned out perfectly here. It started, let's go back to a 1 minute. It looks much better on a 1 minute. So here's a 1 minute chart for SDC. And what you're gonna see here is consolidation. So consolidating right here, and then now a break higher. Let's see if we can retest. I mean, this is not gonna be a long, huge trade, but if we can get it like even some to 30, I don't know where it could go on the way back up. I don't really like the quarter. I don't like the company right now as far as how it looks technically. But SDC, sorry, we're going to hold this one back to VWAP 511, 512 there. For me, it just set up right there. So like I said, I'm trading a little differently. I'm trying to trade the names here that are setting up. And that one's a good one here, SDC. Back to 510 is where we're going to be wrong on this name, Smile Direct. Ethereum making moves back down to 3120, by the way.
And I just got trailed out of FULC there. So it broke that 15 level, and I was shooting for that 1450. I tried to break back even lower to the downside, but I mean, 15 had a bit of a stacked order, so I'm just gonna get out there. I'm not gonna squibble over 20 pennies there when you catch that rollover off the high of the day. You guys are going to Brendan. Time for one of our favorite segments. It is Money Talks.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. A little bit of a data issue this morning, so we'll show you a snapshot of what is happening here. These are static quotes right now. So the euro, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, all slightly lower on the day. As we were saying yesterday, there was a little bit of a bounce back in the US dollar after the jobs report on Friday, going into today as well. Same story. So seeing strength continuing here, meaning a lot of these are going to be a little bit weak on the day. Australia and New Zealand back in negative territory. You can see Turkish lira and the Swiss franc to the upside. We still have, or had there for a second, some live quotes on crypto. Ethereum and Bitcoin, they were both in positive territory. Bitcoin has come back a little bit. Wanted to show you Ethereum, though, because we are holding nicely above 3,000. So we talked about that a little bit going to last week. Coming up here, the first kind of line of prior support that should be a little bit of resistance, technically speaking anyways, 33 to 3,500 for Ethereum, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Don't forget, you are just minutes away from the debut. It's going to be Memes and Movers. I mean, Miss V is excited about it. Pratt is excited about it. Trader Pratt, I should say, is excited about it. We're all definitely excited here. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, so make sure you do not go anywhere. We'll do that for a test today, and it's going to be bigger and better for that show. And, of course, we'll always be back right here at 3 o'clock. I want to get to a name that I did see some people talking about, a U.S. deal. This is more... an investment, and there's been trades in the material sector where you've been able to do like some swing trading, and we talked about that from 10 to 20. I mean, there was a move off a 20 break the second time that it happened, but that was way back when. It's more of an investment, and I think when we were talking about this one for the potential breakout that happened here at 25, it's getting into that range. If you swung for this, then this is where you might want to be taking profit at 29. Personally, I think it's perfectly reasonable to hang on to it. I'm not just saying that because I'm not selling anything in U.S. steel, and I stopped doing so the first time we tested that 30 even. But yeah, you're getting a triple top here. So if you were in because you wanted to swing that 25, 26 into 29, fair enough. You've got your 10, 15%. I'm hanging true to this one. Lots of names in the material sector probably doing pretty solid here today. Oh, but gotta get them back over to. I maybe looked a gift horse in the mouth on ZEV. Oh my goodness, again I type in NASDAQ when it's a New York stock. So how many times am I gonna do that? I might have looked that gift horse in the mouth on ZEV. It did not spike down to these 960 levels, but it is still consolidating here, right in and around VWAP. I don't want this thing retaking the 1080 level. If it retakes 1080, I would just get out. Yes, I would have given up like 70 to 80 cents worth of a winner, but it feels like it's been reversing. I'll give it one shot to fail at that price. If it breaks VWAP and fails 1080, I'll probably try to get more shares in at 75, but that's the only way I'm adding to that position, and I'm not letting it get above 1080. I think if it does that, I'm probably getting a shot closer to that 12 short that we obviously missed a bit earlier.
All right, I can hear some work being done right now for Trader Pratt and Ms. V. She's getting locked and loaded. You're going to see, oh man, now I feel lonely. She's not even beside me anymore. What's going on? Ms. V going to get ready to come for you guys live in a couple minutes, guys. 11 o'clock. We're very, very excited to have that. Stay tuned for us. And then we're going to be rocking and rolling with Ms. V and Trader Pratt. Smile Direct. We still have that out coming here, 5:09 or so. We will take that out if that can come through for us there. Palantir, guys, right back up. So we buy there and we're getting out right here. So let's see if Palantir can still make moves. We do want to see this one at 23. If that can come through, then that would be fantastic here. So that's a little look for me now on Palantir. And then a quick check back on AMC. It looks like that 33 may have been something there. So let's excuse me, let's wait to see if 33, 34 is going to be what winds up holding. We tested that 35 level. It broke, gave us that dollar straight to the downside. But right now, AMC looking not bad. And then we'll trade over to GameStop quickly, as that was kind of barcoding, made a nice move to 167. And now GameStop back down to 158, so 159. So we'll see about 158 or so. 159, sorry, as the bottom there. You may want to take that if it breaks. The market's trying to go, man. We'll see, though. It's bouncing off that 15,000. If we can hold that, then let's go long NASDAQ names today, guys.
It's a big level, and we're definitely going to try and hold that one. Markets will definitely try to hold that one up there. I just want to. We didn't mention it at all, but I'll in passing mention one name that had earnings, and that's going to be Zila. It's not really doing a heck of a lot. I think it had a chance if they put up a good number to actually get a bit of a breakout. If it would have set up there on the 15-minute chart, which is not really loading that well. But we'll probably watch it in the afternoon. I think it does still have an opportunity for some big moves, and unfortunately, if it breaks 280, that could be to the downside. It's a highly shorted name, so it has the potential to squeeze, but disappointing because I kind of came in thinking Zila, yeah, post earnings should be pretty good, and then it's the absolute opposite here. Back in the money, 40 cents on that ZEV, but at the end of the day, I'm sitting for that 965 to 980 area. We want that downside trade. There's still some earnings to get to. It's not as busy as before, but there are some good names to look for after the bell and before the bell, the opening bell tomorrow. Let's get to Brendan and see what they are.
Neil's always excited about Kodak reporting, I think is what he's
always, Brendan.
Yeah, here we go, guys. We still have a few to get through tonight, after market tonight, and before the open tomorrow.
Look, obviously we're going to watch that Coinbase. Coinbase was a great trade yesterday because crypto was going gangbusters. But McAfee has been making some moves recently, so you have to watch that. Brendan's kidding. We're just joking around. Like Kodak was great in its day when it was doing the short squeeze, but that's come and gone. That's old news, Kodak. It doesn't mean it can't move, but every now and then it is what it is. Oh my goodness, I just got a sneak peek at the National Day. Yes. We could have these right now, but we don't have any graham crackers. But I'm spoiling it anyway, so let's go to Ms. V. What National Day is it here?
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, thank you for spending this trading morning with us. I hope you're all doing great, having a profitable day, and please make sure you like this video. Well, I'll see you in a few minutes at the meme show with Prad, and happy National S'mores Day, everyone.
Yeah. We're making those all the time. We have a backyard campfire there, so we make those. My kids are loving s'mores, about as good as can be s'mores. Loving those, and I'm sure Brendan is going to be a fan of the s'more. Brendan, fingers crossed.
I'm actually not a fan of marshmallows per se, but I'll give it a pass.
What?
Sure.
Well, okay, as in you are a fan.
As you are, so that's a
hold on. We gotta get this clarified. Brendan,
again. No to marshmallows.
So no to s'mores.
I'll give s'mores.
So no to s'mores.
You can't. That doesn't even make any sense. You can't be no to marshmallows and okay with s'mores. S'mores are delicious. You can even do it with just do it with dark chocolate. You'll love it with dark chocolate, man. Like it's
the marshmallow. It's the marshmallow.
You have to have the marshmallow. It's not a s'more without the marshmallow.
I can solve this. Just put a cauliflower in the middle, and then we're good to go. Is there a solution to that? What? He doesn't know. Okay. All right.
I know you
look,
didn't just say
let's go.
cauliflower.
Do you guys have the side shot? Because show Neil's desk. Something special is going to happen if you do.
Look
there
at
it
this
is.
thing, man.
So guess who's going to be sitting there soon? Hopefully in the afternoon show.
I gotta move my Vegemite.
If we can, yeah, no, I'll take care of that Vegemite. You know where I know a good place to put that. But Vegemite, we're going to be back live for you at 3 o'clock. But right now, it's getting ready to rock and roll. I don't know where to go, back to Brendan or what, but we got to throw over for memes and movers. So I guess Neil, take it away. I'm not sure how we're
There
going
he
to
is. We have him.
There we go.
There
That's
he
what I'm
is.
talking about.
Making
Prad
his
is in the
debut.
house. Memes and movers. What's up, Pradley?
We're doing good.
We're excited to watch you, Trader Prad, and Miss V for Memes and Movers. I actually just want to shut up and listen. Of course, we'll be back at 3 o'clock, but we're going to send you guys right over to Trader Prad. It's going to be very, very exciting. I absolutely can't wait for this, buddy.
Yeah, let's go, Trader Prad. Yeah, big day coming up for us. Let's just close it off and take it over, Trader Prad.